Lights are on. The field is lined. Let's do this, Tuscaloosa. This is Hillcrest Football on the Hillcrest Football Broadcast Network.
He's on fire tonight, breaks the tackle. He's to the 10, he's to the 5, he's in the end zone. Yes! Touchdown, Patriots!
For live video stream, catch all the action this season on YouTube Live and NFHS Network. For live audio stream, tune in to Mixlr.com. That's MIXLR.com. And now, to the Bama Stuff broadcast booth with Brent Jones, Brad Armstrong, Brian Pirano, and the Hillcrest Football broadcast crew on the Hillcrest Football Broadcast Network.
Hello and welcome to Warrior Stadium in Alabaster, Alabama. Brent Jones here with you.
Hello and welcome to the Coach Jamie Mitchell pregame show. Coach Mitchell, before we move on to the big opponent that's coming up, let's talk about this past Friday night and the big win over the rivals Tuscaloosa County. Good feeling for everybody in the whole Patriot Nation.
Yeah, it was. We got off to a blazing hot start, and the script couldn't have gone.
Time with the four of them in East Tennessee right now.
And welcome to the County Commissioner of District 3, Mark Nelson, pregame show. We're in Alabaster. We're ready for these two 5-2 teams.
Yeah, absolutely, Brent.
To play each other tonight here at Warrior Stadium. Of course, Thompson, the winners of 6 state championships as we look at their wall.
Yeah, that's including
of fame
5
over here.
of the last 7. So,
5 of the last 7.
So they've been
Wow.
quite impressive, especially in this last run here, where they've really stepped up their game, Brent. But it's excited to have a chance tonight for us.
Yeah, and it's a huge game if Hillcrest can pull off the upset. And let's be honest here, Hillcrest is a heavy underdog.
Okay.
The Alabama, was it Historical Football Society puts lines on these games, and they have Thompson as a 27-point favorite. And it's also the homecoming game for Thompson, but we know how that went last time we played somebody for their homecoming against Hoover.
I certainly hope it's the same result for that. And I will say something about these lines. These lines are not always accurate. We were not nearly as big an underdog against Hoover, but we were still pretty substantial double-digit underdog. So certainly stranger things have happened, and that's just based on a computer ranking over the last 3 years. So this year's Pat squad, as you said, it would definitely be an upset, but you got to play the games, man, and here we are.
Exactly, and I'm super excited. And our cameraman over here, Darius Thomas, says that he's got a feeling, and he said this before the Hoover game. He said, I got a feeling. It's our night. It's our night. We're going to do this.
Darius, if you hit both the Hoover game and then the Thompson game, you and I are driving to buy a lottery ticket, okay? We're going straight to somewhere to buy a lottery ticket, buddy.
There you go.
Yep.
There you go. But, yeah, let's talk about this team for just a minute here, Brian, before we have our national anthem and we go to the Coach Mitchell pregame show. We're coming off of a 2-game winning streak following our 2-game losing streak. The team's up to 5-2, 2-2 in the region, looking good for our playoff chances. And I think if we could pull off the upset here tonight, well, I know if we could pull the upset off tonight, we're pretty much assuring ourselves of a playoff berth.
Oh, certainly. But even without that, even if we don't, do the unexpected tonight, that win a couple weeks ago, I guess it was 4 weeks ago this evening against Hoover, put us in a position that we simply weren't in last year. Last year this game was in Tuscaloosa, but if that game was win or the rest of the season is just playing out the schedule. So I think it's exciting tonight that yes, we do have a great opportunity, could more or less assure ourselves a playoff spot, as you said, with the big W. But nonetheless, even if it doesn't quite go our way, we got a lot to play for in the final 2 games of the year.
Right, exactly. Those last 2 are at home as well. So that's going to be nice to be playing on our home. I started to say turf. I guess it is turf.
Yeah, absolutely. Home field, home turf, whatever you want to call it, man. As long as we're in Roy Johnson, it's a good day.
Absolutely, and of course, homecoming is next week for the Patriots.
Oh, good. I'm
against Prattville.
So excited. I love homecoming so much.
Homecoming week. So, yep. But the best part of homecoming is the first part of that word.
Right.
Home.
No doubt.
We are home. Now tonight we are on the visitor side. A nice. Well, first of all, a beautiful night weather-wise.
Definitely.
I mean, you couldn't ask for much more. So comfortable out here, and there's this nice concourse at the top of the visitor stands. that we were able to set up on right here near the 50-yard line. And I think this is just a perfect scenario, and I'm looking forward to some good football here tonight.
You know, I texted you and Brad last week. I think sometimes, and I'm trying to do a good job of it, especially the rest of this year and moving forward, not taking for granted what a beautiful view we have doing these games. You know, no matter what happens with the result, we always have the best seat in the house, and that's no different tonight. Sitting here on the visitor sideline, like Mr. Jones said, right here, right on the 50-yard line. So beautiful night, and as the Thompson band plays and they get ready for some homecoming festivities.
Yeah, and while we have this opportunity before we get caught up here with the national anthem, let's go ahead and let's hear what Coach Jamie Mitchell has to say as I talked to him earlier this week on the Coach Jamie Mitchell pregame show.
Hello and welcome to the Coach Jamie Mitchell pregame show. Coach Mitchell, before we move on to the big opponent that's coming up, let's talk about this past Friday night and the big win over the rivals Tuscaloosa County. Good feeling for everybody in the whole Patriot Nation.
Yeah, it was. You know, we got off to a blazing hot start, and the script couldn't have gone much better for us. You know, and great, just the medicine we needed, and a big win. Most importantly for us, it's a region win. For our community, it's county high. So
Right.
kills two birds with one stone there. But great night, and a huge crowd. Just was a lot of fun.
It was a great atmosphere. But speaking of a big, imposing atmosphere on the road at Thompson and Alabaster, Alabama, one of the, well, probably the top program in the state for the past, 5 to 10 years.
Yep.
And they've been number one at 7A. I know they dropped off losing to Clay Chalkville, but this is a huge challenge for your team coming up.
That's to say the least. You know, and they're supremely talented. You know, at every position. I mean, it's mind-boggling to look out there and see the talent level that's there. And there's several coaches in our region that believe that this is Mark's best football team that he's ever had, and I don't know that I would disagree with it. I'm not real familiar with a few of the years past, but I know the last 2 years they're considerably better this year than they were last year. So it's just crazy at the kids that move into there and they plug in, and they've got kids from all over the United States. You know, you see a lot of kids in Alabama move, but they get them from all over the United States. So it's an intriguing game for sure, and a game that we feel like we got an opportunity to go demonstrate who we are and what we're about. And I've talked. The month of September was so brutal. We go 2-2 in September, and in October. We've got to make our hay this month. There's 4 games in October. We're 1-0 right now in October, and we've got to get it to the finish line with some more region wins.
You got to do enough to get that in that playoff position.
Exactly.
And
right.
you have set yourself up to be in that position, which is great here in these last 3 games.
That's exactly right. This time a year ago, our season was, for all means and purposes, was over. You know, so but there's everything on the table for us to play for, and and for us to get in the playoffs in this region would just be a miracle. I mean, it's been choked out by the 4 teams at the top of this region for probably the last 6 or 7 years. Nobody else has even gotten in. So that's what we're trying to do. I mean, that's the mountain we're trying to climb, and it's within sight for sure. So we're going to take it one game at a time, and it's Thompson this week, and what a great atmosphere that'll be over there, and a fun place to play. So our kids will be excited about it.
I want you to talk just a minute about what you said about we go in expecting to win regardless of who we're playing.
Yeah, I mean, I'd never get on a bus that take them anywhere that we didn't think we were going to win. I mean, that's just not who we are, and not what we're about. You know? So we work no different this week than we work for County High. And the plans and the planning and the preparation is no different. So we spend the same amount of hours preparing for Thompson that we do County High or anybody else on our schedule. So our expectations are we feel like we're an outstanding football program, and heck, we beat Hoover this year. So I mean, anything can happen on a given Friday night. So we're gonna put our best foot forward, and we'll compete. I can assure you of that.
Sounds great. Can't wait. Thanks a lot, and good luck, Coach.
Thanks a lot.
All right.
All right, we are back here at Warrior Stadium, and it's homecoming, as we've said, and you see the homecoming court out on the field being introduced pregame, which is kind of unusual. It's usually done at halftime, but hey, that's all right, as long as we kick this thing off on time.
That's
right?
what we're saying. Listen, I'm all for it as long as like you said, as long as we get this thing started on time. I think that'd be a fantastic thing to do, though.
You know what? Another fantastic thing to do would be
the keys to the game.
The keys to victory. Brought to you by Alabama Express. Thank you so much to Alabama Express bringing us our keys to the game every single week. Thank you, David Jones, for all that you do for Hillcrest Football Broadcast Network. All right, let's take a look at those keys now. And first up, let's see, we got those?
Well, I'll start, okay?
Yeah,
How about a key for us? It's gonna be, we can bend but don't break, all right? You know, we don't mind giving up yards between the 20s necessarily. We just don't want to give up the big play. We don't want to give up 7 points when we can possibly hold them to 3. So this game, football games are not won by who gets the most yards. Games are won by who gets the most points. So it's that big defense of don't allow Thompson big plays, keep them in front of them, try to create big plays of our own, and give ourselves a chance. So we're going to try to keep them in front, try to make sure Thompson's drives kind of stall out closer to the 20-yard line and make them attempt field goals instead of punching it into the end zone, Brad.
Right. Another one that we have here, Brian, is don't waste opportunities. I was watching last year's game, and in the first half we had so many opportunities, an interception, a potential interception that was dropped by Jamarian Bennett. We had touchdowns that were called back, all kinds of opportunities that you have to take advantage of if you're going to win against a team like Thompson.
We said a minute ago, we're looking up here at the state champions, 5 of the last 7. When you're playing a team of this caliber, you're only going to get so many opportunities in a game. You're only going to get so many chances that Thompson may have a coverage wrong, or Trent Seaborn may not read the defense right, and you can get a pick, or you can get a sack, a strip, and a fumble. Anything like that, and we've got to take advantage of those big plays. I was talking to a couple of coaches this week, and a lot of them harped on, you know, oftentimes a game comes down to 5, 6, 8 plays a game sometimes. So we have got to make sure every play we are ready to capitalize on whatever opportunities Thompson may present us tonight.
And when you see the big upsets happen at any level in football, it's often because the underdog took advantage of those situations and didn't let them slide.
Heck, 4 weeks ago, Hoover did not respond. Hoover kind of was flat early. We came out. We took advantage of that.
Right.
So sometimes an advantage is not just on the field. Sometimes it's a mentality. Maybe this homecoming, maybe it's a little different. Maybe Thompson's sleeping on us a little bit. Therefore, we've got to go out there and kind of show up early, make sure we're getting off the bus.
Right, and I think you touched on this one.
I did. We're leading into it.
Forcing the long drives,
Yeah, we're forcing the long drives as well, though. And in addition, kind of going back to Thompson a little bit, don't sleep on the Pats, right? We want to make sure that we're going to force them to have long drives. And I know Thompson, I know Coach Freeman, you don't win 5 of 7. They cannot overlook us. And I wouldn't think they would. And that's easy for the coaching staff to preach. But we have got to, any chance they get that they may start off sluggishly, that we do take advantage of it.
And you know, a feather that he has in his cap as their head coach is, hey guys, you take them lightly. Let Hoover be a lesson. What Hillcrest did to Hoover, you can't take them lightly.
And you know what? Thompson has 2 losses already this year, too. You know, they lost to Clay Chalkville, and then they lost to IMG or Grayson or some powerhouse in week 0 or week 1. So
I believe it was Grayson, yeah.
So he's had a couple instances already this year where maybe the team was not quite as focused as they should be. But you're right. They need not look further than the Hoover Met 4 weeks ago tonight to see what happens when you don't take the Hillcrest team seriously.
Right. So we say don't sleep on the Pats, Thompson. Actually, I would like for them to be honest.
Great.
But their next key is to play their game.
I mean, listen, Thompson's the more talented team. I went through their roster today, and I saw in the junior class and the senior class, they have 7 players that are 3, 4, 5-star players, right? They are the more talented team right now. They know if they just go out here and they execute and they do what they're coached to do, they should come out on top right now. So Thompson does have that advantage where if they do play clean football, Brent, where if they don't give us those opportunities, it certainly favors the Warriors this evening.
And the final one is put the Pats away early.
Don't let us get up. I told a lot of players this. I said all week, hey man, guys, just stay in the game. give us a chance, because I promise if we get a quarter under our belt, and it's a 14-10 game, or we get to halftime and it's a 21-20 game, and we start letting our kids really start to believe, man, that's a powerful tool moving forward. So Coach Freeman really wants to kind of tell them we got to get off to that fast start, get off to that 2-3 score lead early, so that Hillcrest does not have any faith that we can actually overcome the Thompson Mountain.
And I have a feeling that we're going to see everything but the kitchen sink here from Hillcrest tonight. And I believe that we're about getting ready to get to the national anthem. This is national. Is this national anthem?
Everybody standing.
Okay. Here we go.
This is their alma mater.
Oh. Oh, this is their own. I'm not standing up for that. I got it. We can talk over this. I don't care.
Okay, I believe what we were listening to there was not their alma mater. Well, maybe they have adopted it as their alma mater, but it's the Alabama State song.
Oh, well.
Alabama. Okay, anyway.
I promise, Brett, you could sing it and I would take your word for it, but I don't know if I'm familiar with it.
Okay. Well, here we go.
Okay, Thompson's right now, we see a little bit different pregame this evening simply because Thompson with that homecoming right now. So even a little thing like that may be different for Hillcrest, but when you travel, you expect certain things to be different. So maybe anything that throws Thompson's team off kilter. Northridge is hosting Bryant. Spain Park traveling to Chelsea. The powerhouse Saraland, number 2 in 7A, I believe, right behind Clay Chalkville. They are hosting St. Paul's. We got Northside traveling to Jemison, Alabama. We got ACA going to Tarrant, and we got Tuscaloosa Academy traveling to Lamar County. So we got several great games, not just in front of us, but throughout West Alabama and throughout the whole state tonight. So we'll do our best with just the two of us. We may depend on a few of you listening to send us some score updates if you have them. But it looks like Mr. Jones has our.
Hey, I mean, Mr. Engineer.
Listen, I'm not sure the audience appreciates our faces being back on the screen. However, we are back nonetheless.
Hey, that's a good shot. And we got Kylie in here too.
Thank God Kylie's here. Thank goodness Kylie's here to class up the joint a little bit. Okay?
Kylie has
absolutely.
We don't give her enough recognition.
Well, I'm going to tell you something about Kylie. She's in my second block class, and we took a wonderful field trip yesterday yesterday to the University of Alabama, right?
Yeah.
And Kylie was an absolute superstar, right? The whole class was. But the tours I was on with Kylie, she was great. She has great questions and all that. So when you see these great kids up here working for us, remember, they're fantastic students, and they're a big part of the Hillcrest community, not just helping us out Friday night, though.
And you know, Kylie is a big part of the theater department, and she has been ever since she's been at Hillcrest. So she's in our play that's coming up, the play that goes wrong, coming up in late January. But also, Kylie is just a positive spirit.
She is.
You know,
very
she's always upbeat and so positive.
She's cheerleads no matter where she is. So we appreciate a lot of kids like Kai at Hillcrest, and we certainly appreciate her giving up her Friday evenings for the past 7 or 8 weeks to help out a couple old guys.
And their audience, you have your Kylie Robinson update.
I hope you're dancing up here later. So
Yeah. Hey, and looking out on the field, there's a lot of static action going on here. It's not really action. There's not much happening. The captains for Hillcrest are on the field, but the captains for Thompson are not on the field.
We should get points. That should be like a 7-0 lead for us since the captains aren't out here yet.
Right. And I thought of something we didn't do, Darius. We didn't get your sound hooked up, right? We can do that if you get the cable. It's simple to do. Okay. Yeah, no. If you got the cable, we can do that. But anyway,
but I'm gonna run through our captains.
I've decided. You know, I've spent so many years here trying to be the engineer and pretend like nothing's happening. But I've decided if I can solve a problem, if they have to listen to me in the audience, listen to me solve the problem, then I'm just going to go ahead and put it out there.
I promise you this: if our listeners know nothing else, they do know we have some problems up here. So anything that we can solve at any means we can do it will certainly be appreciated. I'm sure.
All right, so what were you saying?
I'm just going to run through our captains real quick.
Oh, yes,
we got
please
an extra moment. We got number 84, Jaden George, wide receiver. We got number 93 for us, Cameron Hollingsworth. Got number 23 down there. That is Kyla Northfleet. We got number 40. Number 40 is going to be Dylan Pompey. And number 83, Jackson Killings there. So we see one of them peeling away to go talk to one of our event staff. But they're chomping at the bit, ready to go. But we're still waiting on the Warriors captains to make their way to midfield. There they are. They're finally exiting that home locker room.
Now, the Warriors are coming out of their locker room. You see the big building over here. Now, that's the kind of building you want over there, isn't it, that you and Brad keep talking about?
Listen, when you're... Yeah. Here we go, National Anthem.
Okay. We'll take a break for the National Anthem here, and we'll be back with more of the Mark Nelson pregame show after this. Keep it here.
Ignite is a high school.
Ladies and gentlemen, the playing of our national anthem is presented by the Thompson High School Marching Southern Sound.
All right, there you have it, our national anthem. Brought to you by the Thompson Pride of Southern Sounds, I think they said.
If you say so, man, that was a good national anthem. Oh, I'll give them credit on that, but I hope that's the last positive moment for the Warriors this evening, though. I hope we can look back in about 3 hours and go, that was a heck of a national anthem, but nothing else went right for the Warriors tonight.
All right, as we look out onto the field, I believe, are those the captains? There are people. If you get a shot over there, Darius, of the Thompson people coming out, those are not football players, so I guess those those are not the captains. That's the camera crew, I believe, that's coming out now to get a little video.
Well, Thompson's certainly moving at their own pace this season.
Sure
I'll give them that.
Yeah.
I understand it's homecoming. I understand it's their home field. But there are still certain, procedural things that are expected when we come places that every high school tends to do. But the White Hats over there right now talking to the Thompson captains, and we should be getting this coin flip momentarily as the game right now is scheduled to start in about 4.5 minutes, though.
We'll see. At this pace, who knows?
We're going to try to now. Thompson's one of the schools, obviously a large 7A school. Brent, you mentioned the facilities. It's an Alabaster City school, so obviously the tax dollars aren't quite divided as other schools would be. So they're able to do this a lot more easily than we would be able to in Tuscaloosa. But they're also a school that has a lot of players on offense and defense that have the same number, though, so it may be a little difficult for us. But it looks like number 7, Terry Robinson, possibly one of the captains. Saw number 10 out there. That's Chancellor Strawn. Number 3 is out there, DeMonte Tab. There's one more young man we can't quite see, though.
Yeah, I can't see him because he's being blocked by the Hillcrest captains. I can't see his number.
Our Hillcrest kids are so daunting in their size, we can't even see through them.
But I will say this, that these black jerseys and these dark reddish numbers are very hard to see. It's the Alabama Credit Union coin toss. It looks like Hillcrest has won the coin toss and has elected to defer to the second half. So the Thompson Warriors will be getting the ball, and we will see Trent Seaborn and company immediately.
I'm sorry, Brett, I hesitate to say this because, I'm a big believer in the jinx, but I do believe of the two sides, the Thompson offense and the Thompson defense, it's their defense that's the stronger of the two units. Both are very, very solid, but this Thompson defense seems to have a few more names on it, so I think Coach Mitchell would have likely deferred no matter what, but it'd be a big chance for the Hillcrest defense right now to see if we can get an opening stop against the aforementioned Trent Seaborn and see if we can start the game off on a good note for this evening.
So if you look down in the end zone to the south, you see the Go Pats banner, the Run Under banner that the Pats are ready for.
Fantastic.
And in the north end zone, if you can get a quick shot of that before the Pats come through, Darius, we see this enormous Thompson banner that says Celebrating a Generation of Champions, Homecoming 2025. All right, let's get it back on the good guys now. And
enough of that.
Get a good shot of them.
Great, they ran through the banner.
All right, so Thompson runs through their banner. Hillcrest runs under the banner and does the little jump and pat on the banner, pun intended, as they head to the visiting sideline, and we're about ready for action. This campus even, Brad, looks like a junior college campus.
It's beautiful.
It really
I was down here last year for a basketball game, and the gym is very impressive as well. Golly, it's so hard for me sometimes to give other schools credit for even their facilities since I'm so partial to us. But this is a beautiful campus, beautiful facilities. Obviously, I enjoy the hometown field that we have down 69 South, but I know this place is something that the Thompson and the Alabaster community is very proud of.
All right, we're almost ready for some football.
Let's go.
Seems like we've been waiting here an hour.
I know, it's right on time. It's 6:58, so it's actually, the timing has gone well, Brent. So
it just seems because everything is moved at such a snail's pace. Correct. It just seems like it has taken forever. But let's see what the Hillcrest defense can do against Trent Seaborn. Let's talk about Trent Seaborn because he obviously is the face of the organization, right?
Trent is. He seems like he's been the starting quarterback for Thompson High School for about as long as I can remember right now. I think he started in the 8th grade. So
yeah, he won a state championship.
That's exactly right.
Grade.
He's only a junior right now. So, but Trent, I was reading a little bit about him today. Big time offers, as you might imagine, a top 200 recruit in the class of 2027. And I believe right now, obviously early in the recruitment, but I think Alabama and the University of Alabama and Mississippi State University are the two favorites for at least Trent's first year in college. Obviously, with today's atmosphere, you never know where they'll end up.
I've only seen him in person once, and that was last year.
That's
and he was very impressive.
You're not wrong.
All right, it's time for the Tiger Rock kickoff. Coming from the foot of Elijah Miller. Elijah approaches, total leather, and here we go. A high, deep the 9-yard line, cutting it up the middle and being brought down at the 31-yard line. And a fumble. Let's see, did Elijah recover? Or are they saying he was down?
They're saying he's down.
Okay, they're saying he was down. Let's see if we can get that on replay.
We see immediately, though, I'll give him credit. I don't know if it's a good call or a bad call, but they did immediately call that ball down right there.
I think it was a good call because looking at the replay, it looks like when his back hit the turf, that's when the ball popped out.
Right.
I don't think it was coming loose before that.
Well, obviously, I disagree with the call because I'm partial, but nonetheless, we'll see if the Pats right there, they're about to get one of those advantages we talked about, Brent.
Trent Seaborn in shotgun, calls the signals for the Warriors, looks to the sideline for a change. Calls for it, takes the snap, play action, looks downfield, deep down the sideline, and this one is caught at the 35 to the 20 and brought down at the 14-yard line.
Yeah, if you look, they're a good route, though, Brent. You know, they had 2 wide receivers over there. Initially, I thought it was going to the inside guy, and he was covered, but then they had a guy slightly further outside, and then he was wide open. A little bit of confusion in our coverage right there because the routes, whether intentionally or unintentionally, were run so close to each other.
At first, I thought he had underthrown
I did too, Brent. I thought it was going out of bounds.
Then there was a receiver. I was like, wait, where did he come from?
And he popped up, and he's in there.
All right, so now the Centel home design red zone already after the first play for the Warriors. And here's a run around right in. Down at the 5-yard line goes the running back, Reginald Evans.
Yeah, I mean, we see Thompson right now, right on cue now. They are not huddling once again. Trent Seaborn getting the signals from the sideline right now, being signaled in. You know, one of the advantages of them not huddling, it does not give our defense, Coach Patterson, a chance to make too many adjustments either.
So 2nd down and about 2 for the Warriors. Man comes in motion from right to left. Seaborn hands it off over right end once again. And down at the 1-yard line is the running back, Reginald Evans, once again. But that is enough for a first down. It'll be 1st and goal for the Warriors from the 1.
Yeah, that's a good play once again. I thought originally when he had the ball, he had a shot of breaking into the end zone, but able to pick up that first down, give Thompson a new set of downs right now inside of our 2-yard line.
Yeah, they'll mark it right at the 2. Just inside the 2. We've just started. 10:20 remaining in the first quarter. Thompson already threatening on their first drive. Seaborn takes it, hands it off to Evans over right guard. Evans falls forward, but he only gets back to the line of scrimmage, so it'll be 2nd and goal from the 2.
Yeah, this is the type of possession right here when you really can't play for both. You know, I don't know if you can stop the pass and the run this close, so I think this is something where Coach Patterson, Coach McKinney's D-line, they're going to try to sell out, hope for the run, and if Trent Seaborn and this Thompson offense tries to pass, adjust out of that.
Seaborn in shotgun. Evans switches to his left side. Man comes in motion from left to right. That's not Evans, but a tackle in the backfield. Great job by the Pats coming through. That's number 28 for the Pats making the tackle, Marvin Johnson.
Yeah, and that's kind of what I was just talking about, Brent, where that D-line right there, they did not buy any of the eye candy, as you like to say, any of the ball fakes right there. They just sold out, keyed on that running back right there, and a great job by Marvin Johnson right there, the junior linebacker, I believe, for the Hillcrest Patriots, making the tackle and bringing up 3rd and goal from the 6 now as we hit under 9 minutes in the first quarter.
Actually, it's from the 7, and Seaborn is back to pass, looking over to the corner and complete for the touchdown for the Warriors.
Yep, great play. Once again, they had that play action right there. A relatively wide open, either wide receiver or running back right there. Hillcrest, they couldn't stop everything there. They chose to, kind of flush the backfield once again, and unfortunately, Seaborn found the open receiver to give Thompson the early 6-0 lead.
All right, the Dr. Brandy Patterson of Brookwood Women Health Center extra point attempt coming your way now as the Warriors have the early lead, 6-0 with 8:41 remaining. Placement, the kick is up, and the kick is good. So the Warriors drive it down the field. But, you know, it was, what, a 70-yard drive. And there was one big play. But I have to say that once Thompson got to that 1st and goal situation there at the 2-yard line, the defense stiffened for a few plays. Pushed them backwards 4 yards, had an opportunity to force the field goal. So, you know, there are some positives to be taken from that.
And, you know, I think sometimes, I can't speak for everybody, but sometimes I don't take in consideration how good our defense is. And even games against, you know, Vestavia and against Hewitt, where it may not always look that way, you know, we got some players out there, too, on defense. We got some kids out there that are working. As you said, that I think it ended up being a 68-yard touchdown drive. But once they did get it in there, big job by Thompson picking up that touchdown, and now we need to have a big answer by Jordan Chamblee and the Hillcrest Patriots.
Ethan Black is the kicker for this Tiger Rock kickoff. Back deep for the Patriots, Caden Smith, Austin Cherry, and Jacoby Harris. Black approaches, kicks it away. It's high, it's deep, and it goes near the back of the end zone, and that'll be a touchback, so the Pats will start their first offensive possession at the 20-yard line.
I think I got a decent idea of what Coach Mitchell's game plan is going to be, but you know, we do need to limit Thompson's possessions as much as possible. You know, I talked about earlier right before the game how their defense is probably the stronger of the two sides, but you know, Hillcrest needs to make sure if we can control the ball a little bit, we need to do so. But at the same time, you do want to give number 3 some touches. You do want to give Jordan a chance to kind of stand back there in the pocket and make some plays.
Omari Taylor in the game at tailback to start this game. Jacoby Harris in there as well on the wing. He comes in motion. Here's a handoff to Jacoby around right in. Jacoby with a nice 6-yard pickup on the jet sweep, and it'll be 2nd down and 4, depending where they mark him.
Yeah, we're not going to, Thompson.
Yeah, 6.
Despite, you see some of our kids in the hallway and you realize there's some big boys, but we're not going to be able to compete with Thompson physically. So the misdirection right there, getting Jacoby into space, allowing him to make plays, probably going to be a big part of our offense tonight. As right now we start off in an empty set.
Yeah, Jordan in the empty set, 4 wide receivers to the left side, just 1 here to the right. And that's Caden Smith. Here's the snap. Chamblee back, looking downfield. Slings it for Caden. Caden dives for it, but is unable to reel it in on the sideline.
That's a good ball, though. And, Brent, correct me if I'm wrong. I don't remember too many 0 running back, 5 wide receiver sets we've had this year, though. But that looked like Caden's, that looks like Jordan's first read right there, about a 15-yard out pattern by Caden. Good ball. Went through his hands. It would have been a very, very good catch, but it was a catchable ball by Jordan Chamblee.
Yeah. All right, here's the snap, and Jordan will keep it over left guard. Jordan fighting for that 1st down yardage, but I think he's going to be about a yard short. So it'll be 4th down and 1 for the Patriots. And do you gamble this early, Brian?
We see Coach Mitchell making that decision right now. He's bringing in a heavy set, so I think Coach Mitchell's going to gamble, and I'm going to be honest, I think I agree with him. Thompson, they're a pretty special team, and you're going to have to make big plays. We'll see if we actually run a play, Brent, or if we just try to draw them off sides.
Got about a yard to go. Jordan Chamblee under center. Yeah, this might be one of those times where you test the discipline of the Thompson defensive line to see if you can make them jump or not. We'll see if Jordan learned anything in his theater class.
I think we take our first skills. And let's see if I can say this tonight, right, Mr. McDonald. Our first Tidwell paint and body timeout of the evening right now. And we will take a break now.
So we'll take a break. Thompson up 7-0. Back after this on the Hillcrest Football Broadcast Network.
Ignite is a high school student employment initiative. We have a summer job fair, and a lot of employers have hired students from the summer job fair.
If you are not involved in Ignite, you should be involved in Ignite. It will be the best decision that you will make for your company in the hiring process.
It's an opportunity to grow your own workforce, to mentor young people. You can help give back to the community by helping students engage in a productive activity. Ignite is a...
All right, the Pats back on the field now, ready to kick it away.
Yep.
Gunnar Webb stands at his 15.
Thompson isn't punt safe. Only one man deep. Everybody else within about 5 yards of the line of scrimmage.
He stands at the 30. The ball lands at about the 45, takes a slight Hillcrest bounce and goes out of bounds at about the 43-yard line. So Thompson will start there with good field position for their second possession of the night.
Gunner's had, in my opinion, has very much impressed me this year. It doesn't seem like Gunner always have like one questionable kick early in the game, and then he kind of gets loose, and then he just hits some bangers that turn over later in the game. It's almost like he's lulling the opponent into sleep, and then he kicks it over their head the rest of the game, though. So
yeah, let's hope the others are better than that one.
I agree.
All right, so the Warriors, 1st and 10 from their own 43. Trent Seaborn calling the signals. Here comes the snap. Seaborn drops back to pass, looks across the middle. This one is complete across midfield to the 45 and down at about the 40-yard line. So a big pickup of about 17 on the completion into Hillcrest territory.
Yeah, that's number 3. That's Darian Mosley right there. He's a 3-star junior product right now, yet still undecided right now for the Thompson Warriors. But he's one of those 7 juniors or seniors that's at least 3 stars according to On3 Sports rankings.
Seaborn takes it, drops back, swings it out to the right side to his running back. He has some room over there. He's at the 30, got the first down at the 25. Finally out of bounds at about the 20 in the Centel Home Design red zone. First down for the Thompson Warriors.
And they just keep throwing them at you, Brent. Right there, Kamori Jackson, senior running back. You know, Thompson, they got talent all over the field at every position right there. So it's not like you can just key and try to stop on one aspect of this Thompson offense. They're going to beat you some other way if you do so.
Right. Seaborn takes it, passing again, swings this one over to the right side, down to the 15, 14-yard line. The reception there by Dedrick Kimbrough, the sophomore wide receiver.
6-yard gain on the play.
6-yard pickup, and it'll be 2nd down and 4.
Brent, I know we watched Trent play last year, Trent Seaborn, and I know you've probably watched him a little on tape. I don't want to compare him to be a complete game manager, but he does a good job of what's given to him there. You know,
he always knows what to do.
That's exactly right. He's not going to force the ball, so good job taking that 5-6-yard gain right there.
Seaborn back to pass, looking downfield, slings this one complete, and a great job coming up to make the tackle for the Pats is number 4, Kemarcus Silvers. Very short gain, if at all. Was that a loss? I believe it was a loss on the completion, so that'll make it 3rd down and 6. So a big 3rd down coming up for the Pats defense to try to keep the Warriors out of the end zone and not extending this to a 2-touchdown lead.
Yeah, agreed, Brandon. That's a nice tackle right there by Kemarcus Silvers right there. Because if he's able to shed that tackle, I don't know if it was 6, but it was most likely a 1st down for the Warriors.
Seaborn takes it, drops back, being pressured, releases it, and it is caught in the end zone. Touchdown for the Warriors. And that'll extend it to 13-0 here with 5:09 remaining in the first quarter. That's twice now the Pats had them in 3rd and long with an opportunity to hold them to a field goal attempt, and they gave up the touchdown.
I'd be interested to see that coverage right there. I think there was number 2, Trey Knight, right there, but it looked like we had. Now listen, after last week when he tracked down that County High player, but our Alabama commit linebacker Zay Hall in coverage there.
Dr. Brandy Patterson, extra point attempt is up and good. It's 14-0 with 5:09 remaining in the first quarter, and the offense for Hillcrest absolutely has to answer right here if we're going to stay in this game.
You know, it's tough. You know, it's tough against Thompson right now because you fall into this trap right now where you can't get 14 points back at once, but you want to go down there, you want to chunk the ball downfield, you want to try to answer with the big play, but Coach Mitchell's also done this long enough to know, like you said, the offense needs to give the defense time. It needs to establish. It doesn't necessarily need to be a run game, Brent, but it needs to be something where we can pick up consistent yardage. That 3rd down play, we ran the option with Jordan last time, that sort of play where we can try to stay ahead of the change and give Coach Pat and his defensive staff just give them a few minutes to make some changes. But nonetheless, Brent, you're right. This is a big drive for the Hillcrest offense to kind of prove to everybody that we can stay in this game.
Tiger Rock kickoff goes into the end zone. I have a feeling that's going to be the theme for their kickoffs here tonight. So the Pats will start 1st and 10 on their 20.
Yeah, Hillcrest coming out for its second possession of the game right now. You know, that first one ended in the 4th and a long one, short 2, when Coach Mitchell elected to punt right now. So we'll see what Coach Mitchell and Coach Guy kind of have drawn up now. Always tough as well. Thompson, like we said in the opening, probably one of the toughest opponents anybody in high school football can face.
Oh, absolutely. Jordan in an empty set again, 3 wides to the right, 2 to the left. Jordan will take it on the quarterback keeper right up the middle. He's got nowhere to go, though. Maybe picks up 2 to the 22. It'll be 2nd and 8. I guess the strategy there is to spread them out and see if you can use Jordan's athletic ability.
I hate that. I mean, one of Jordan's strongest qualities is his legs right there. So you spread them out. You maybe allow Jordan to go one-on-one with some defensive linemen that are certainly bigger than him, Brent, but he may have them in the quickness and the shiftiness category.
It looked like if he had made the cut to the right, he might have had some space. Right. He chose to go to the left and met with a Thompson defender. Jordan under center now. A tight formation. Caden Smith is out wide to the left. Jacoby Harris is behind Jordan Chambly. It's the toss sweep to Jacoby. Jacoby breaks a tackle initially at the line of scrimmage. He moves it forward for about 3 to the 25, and it'll be 3rd and 5.
I'll talk about a little bit what I was talking about before the first play, Brent. I think you're always a little bit of a catch-22 with how much do you want to show with 2 big Regions games left and hopefully a playoff run as well, and how much do you want to just make sure we keep something in our back pocket. But we have 3rd and 5 right now for the Patriots.
2 backs flank Jordan. 1 goes in motion. I believe that's DeJuan Johnson. Jordan back to pass, looking downfield, and slings this one complete to Caden Smith at the 35-yard line, and that will be enough for a Stephen Fikes All-State first down, the first one of the night for the Pats.
If we got time, show the replay. Caden did a good job right there. Caden didn't just settle into one spot right there. If you notice, he kind of moved a little bit. Caden was able to read that zone right there, take a couple steps left, there kind of settle in, and Jordan did a good job kind of following him but not keeping his eyes on him and able to pick up the first down and a nice 20-yard gain for the Hillcrest Patriots.
Chambly in shotgun, marking the signals. Man comes in motion. It's a jet sweep to Caden Smith, and Caden is in trouble in the backfield. Caden will lose about 2, and it'll be 2nd down and 12.
Yeah, we ran something similar the first play of the game to Jacoby, trying to get Caden into space as well. I know that play did not work as well as we had hoped, but I do think anytime you get 3 the ball or 5 the ball moving into space, Brent, I don't think that's a bad overall game plan, even if every play is not going to result in a positive game.
Agreed.
I do think Coach Mitchell as well, with it just being 2 of us now, we're going to do a little bit better job updating time verbally and not necessarily on the screen, but we tick down to 2.5 minutes already left in this initial quarter.
Jordan in an empty set, dropping back, slings it across the middle, and it is caught and across the 42. Great job there on the reception by the Pats. I believe was that Austin Cherry?
Yeah, that's Austin Cherry, number 11 there. And honestly, Austin looked a little surprised the ball came to him. I think it was him and Jacoby in a route very close to each other. And I think the ball, it was either the DB covering Austin, maybe Austin as well, got a little blinded. Austin turns, ball's right there. Great job bringing up a 3rd and a short 2, long 3.
Big 3rd down play for the Pats as they hope to keep the ball. Here's the belly G, and it works. Jacoby over right guard. A pickup of about 6, and that's enough for the Stephen Fikes All-State first down to the 48 as the Pats continue to move.
We're going quick, but we're not going quick. We're not huddling a ton right now, but the last 3 or 4 plays, the play clock has wound down to under 10 or right around 10 seconds. So Coach Mitchell, he's done this since 1997. He's been a head coach, so it's not a secret. He's a veteran, doing a good job giving our defense a breather and trying to sustain a drive to get right back in this game.
Jordan calling the signals, flanked to his left by Jacoby. Back to pass, scrambling as he's pressured. Slings it down the sideline. And it's caught.
He caught it.
It is caught.
He caught it.
Complete. Jalen Cook with a beautiful catch down at the 17-yard line.
Good ball right there. We saw Chamblee number 2 scramble, keep his eyes downfield the whole time, threw it on a line. Golly, 40, 50 yards. Cookie over his opposite shoulder went up, got at least 1 foot in, gives us a 1st and 10 from the 17-yard line.
Inside the Centel Home Design red zone for the first time here tonight for the Pats. Chamblee in shotgun with 2 wides to the left. Man comes in motion from right to left. Chamblee back to pass, being pressured, scrambles to his left. He will keep it, and he will be pushed out of bounds right at about the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play, but no problem either.
But no loss on the play either, though. So it's the sort of play where initially I thought we had a little breakdown in protection there, but Jordan did a good job making sure that he kind of did not let that initial guy get him through the line. And like you said, Brent, been able to get back to the line of scrimmage by lowering his shoulder. As the play clock kicks under 20 seconds, 37 seconds left in the first quarter.
Chamblee in the gun, takes it. Pitch out to Jacoby on the right side. Jacoby looking for some room. He dodges his way through a couple of defenders. Nice pickup of about 5, I believe, depending on where they spot him. Maybe about 4. And it'll be third down, and about 6 for the Pats.
He did a good job keeping it outside. I thought he tried to cut it back right there, Brent. I don't know how much he would have picked up at all. I would think that's likely the last play of the first quarter there.
It is.
But, we've run more plays this quarter, but unfortunately it is still 14-0 Warriors as we tick down the last few seconds in the first quarter.
All right, so that's the end of 1. Thompson 14, Hillcrest nothing, but the Patriots threatening. Back after this on the Hillcrest Football Broadcast Network. And we are back. We've played 1. Thompson has looked fantastic on offense. 14-0, 2 long drives, 68 yards and 58 yards respectively. But the Pats now have driven it down the field. They're faced with a big 3rd and 6 right now from the Thompson 16-yard line, I believe.
As Thompson gives
the 12-yard line. Sorry.
Thompson giving a little love to their bowling state champions right there. So good for them, I guess. But I want to give a shout out to the Hillcrest bowling team because I don't care about the Thompson bowling team. So the Hillcrest bowling team,
Thompson Bowling Arena,
whatever we call it, right? They can go to Knoxville with that one. But Heather White has done a great job as the bowling team at Hillcrest is continuing to have a great year, and they're just getting started, just starting practice. So if you're ever looking for something pretty fast-paced to go to, going out to a Hillcrest bowling match.
So you're saying the bowling team is on a roll?
No, Brent, I'm absolutely not saying that. I'm saying our bowling team is a lot of fun.
All right, back to business here. 3rd and 6 for the Pats. The snap to Jordan. Jordan rolls to his left, looking downfield. He's got nobody to send it to, so he'll go out of bounds. Let's see, is there a flag there? Don't know.
There should be, Brent, but there's not. Despite the ref having to pick him up more or less 4 yards on the sideline, there is no flag there. One of the refs, we do have an official that went down as well as he crashed into a couple of our sheriff's deputies and a couple of our event staff over there. Golly, Brent, I know we didn't have the best angle, but that certainly looked like it was late and out of bounds to me. I'm not sure why the play clock is already running. White Hat's going to have to reset that as we tick under 10.
Yeah, for sure, because the officials weren't ready. The officials need to call the timeout right here.
The play clock stopped. The game clock stopped when he went out of bounds.
Okay.
They're going to reset it.
Okay. So it's going to be a 32-yard field goal attempt by Elijah Miller in this Dr. Brandy Patterson field goal attempt. The kick is up, and the kick is good. So the Pats on the scoreboard now, 14-3, and that's huge, Brian, because not only did we get points on the board, we drove the ball down the field, kept it alive, and kept that Thompson offense off the field, gave the defense a little bit of a breather.
I would have loved to have put 7 up right there. Honestly, I thought that last drive right there, we had some big third down conversions. But like you said, to kind of, change that from the 0 there, kind of give our kids get a little hope. Like you said, man, give that D a chance to adjust right there. A nice long drive. I think that took up the better part of half of the first quarter.
Yeah, it did.
And now it's the defense's job. Now if we can go out there, we talked about pregame, just something, just a play here, a play there. We thought we had it on the opening kickoff, but it was ruled down by the Thompson Thompson returner. But anything here, I'm certainly not predicting it, and I certainly don't know anything, but you got to wonder if Coach Mitchell has like an onside kick up under his belt or something like that. Elijah's a heck of a soccer player. He's a heck of a soccer goalie, so I know he has the athleticism to do something like that if Coach Mitchell ever wanted to try it.
Tiger Rock kickoff. He's also good at placing the ball on the kickoffs, too.
No onside kick here.
All right, so here's a high kick fielded and fumbled at about the 11-yard line, and he will be knocked down at about the 21. So good job on the coverage team by Hillcrest, and that's Jalen Cook there, I believe, on the tackle. And the Warriors will start 1st and 10 at their 21.
We got so many players, Cookie, Caden, Gunner, that do a great job kind of not only on the offensive or defensive side of the ball, but on whatever their special teams role is. So, a lot of versatile kids for Hillcrest. And, when you're the second smallest 7A, you got to have some kids that can play multiple roles just because we do not have the sheer numbers that a school like Thompson has.
Trent Seaborn in shotgun. Reginald Evans, the running back, behind him. He goes in motion. Seaborn takes it, looks down to the corner, and it is caught at about the 40-yard line and moving forward to the 44. Big pickup for Dedrick Kimbrough. And that's 23 yards and a first down for the Warriors.
And once again, Dedrick, 3-star uncommitted kid right now, a junior. That's like you said, that's a great pass by Seaborn. He can spin it.
Seaborn takes it, drops back, looks downfield, slings this one down the middle, and he is wide open, stumbling at about the 20-yard line and falling down at the 15.
Yeah, it's Price Lewis. Yeah, Price Lewis, senior wide receiver.
He was
right
so
there.
wide open, though. There had to have been a blown coverage.
Yeah, definitely. I'm not sure what it was, and I didn't get a chance to see the replay, though. But I don't know if we had a safety or a DB or a linebacker. Somebody didn't quite get on the same page with the rest of the defensive call.
So wide open down the seam. In the Centel Home Design red zone, a handoff to Reginald Evans around left end, and he'll be inside the 5. I saw what you were talking about there on A.J. Love at the end. It looked like a hold to me, too.
I mean, A.J. Love, you could see his jersey separate from his body. The whole Hillcrest staff is screaming from the sideline. A.J. kind of looked pleadingly at the official, like, what exactly do I have to do? Not only am I going against one of the best O-lines in the state, but you can't allow them to do such things.
1st and goal now for the Warriors. Seaborn hands it off to Evans, and Evans spins his way into the end zone, extending the lead for the Warriors to 20-3. 10:36 remaining in this first half.
They're tough, Brent. It's tough.
This offense has just been a steamroller.
With how good Seaborn is. I think maybe I probably sold him a little short in the pregame when I said he's, I didn't want to say game manager, but he takes what you can give him. But he's a 181st ranked player in the whole country. He's top 10 quarterback in the country in the class of 27. So we're seeing one of the best players high school football has to offer, and we can see why.
Extra point attempt is up, and it is through. 21-3 in favor of the Warriors. Man, you're right. He is, and I noticed this about him last year. It's all about decisiveness.
Golly.
He's like a coach on the field.
Yep.
He knows exactly what he wants to do with the ball, where he wants to go with it, how hard he wants to throw it, where all his players are. It's just like it's almost as if he's reading the future out there on the field.
Yeah, and with his 4th year of experience here, 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th grade, and all those things you said he had, his mind can do, but he's also fortunate enough to have the athletic ability to do it. There's a lot of kids, well, that's probably not true. There are more kids that can see it, but that Trent has the ability to go out there, throw balls on the line, read the coverage. Not only that, but he's got, I don't know if he's a dual threat, but in high school he certainly is, where he can pick up plenty of yards with his legs too, Brent.
Right. All right, here's the Tiger Rock kickoff. 10:36 remaining in the first half. The Pats trailing now 21-3. Total leather. This one will stay in the field of play and be fielded by Caden Smith at about the 4. Caden looks for a seam up the middle. He's going to be stopped short of the 20 at about the 17-yard line, so the Pats will start there, 1st and 10.
Thompson defense should be a little tired. What was that? Was that a 3-play drive, a 2-play drive right there? Something like that?
Yeah, around 3, 4,
was certainly
6,
not
7.
there. It was not very many yards there, so we sort of see that. So hopefully that Thompson defense is a little bit winded, and maybe the Hillcrest Pats can, get another long drive there, Brent, and hopefully put up 7 this time instead of 3.
If they can put together a drive here, or even just score on a big play.
That's right.
21-10 is still somewhat manageable, but if they give it up here, like on a 3 and out, and let Thompson score again, this thing's really getting out of hand. Here's whistles. Golly. Let's see, is that going to be a false start? Delay of game, didn't get the snap off in time. Wow. Those things will kill you in a game like this, especially when you're starting your possession at your own 16-yard line. Now you're going to back it up to your 11 and make it 1st and 15.
Yeah, I think that's a play that Hillcrest was pretty excited to run as well, though. It looked like it was well executed there. So I know Coach Mitchell's disappointed that we couldn't get that off just a beat more quickly.
Jordan takes the snap. It's a little reverse to Caden Smith around left end. Flag. Caden gets it to about the 14-yard line, only a pickup of a couple, and it'll be 2nd down and 13 for the Pats.
Sometimes I'll listen to these games back and I'll think I'm saying the same things over and over again each game, but it seems like the same things are true every game. Get the ball to 3 in space, get the ball to 5 in space. Times it may not work, but with those 2 playmakers, you just have to give them the opportunity, and eventually something good will happen.
Yeah, they gave him a little bit more than I gave him credit for, down to the 2nd and 11. Jordan scrambling, in trouble. Tries to bring it forward. He does to about the 15-yard line. No gain, though, on the play, and it'll be 3rd down and 11.
Not to pile on Auburn too much, but that looked a little Jackson Arnold-ish there, where I know if he had to do it over again, he might want to get rid of the ball a little more quickly, even if it is, just allowing 3 to go try to make a play, or even throwing the ball away.
In a game like this, sometimes you have to go for those tight windows. You have to take chances. You can't be too careful against a team like this.
And then
it may come back to bite you, but at least you took your shot.
Yeah, and then the alternative is we lose 3 or 4 yards on a sack right there. So tough right there. And once again, we're kind of behind the play clock as we're just now at the line as the play clock ticks down to 3, 2, 1.
Got the snap off, though. Jordan slings it out here to Jacoby Harris. Jacoby tries to make a move. Too many black shirts around him, though, and he'll be knocked out of bounds at about the 16, which is well short of the 1st down. It's going to be 4th and 10 for the Pats, and they will be forced to punt.
Yeah, Brent, what you were talking about, unfortunately, came to fruition a few minutes ago where we couldn't have a 3 and out. Well, unfortunately, we did right there. Yep. So, that defense, which is struggled on the scoreboard. I think they've had some good plays so far in the first 3 drives, but, that's not reflective by the 21-3 score that Thompson has against us. Feels like this is the deepest in our own end zone in our own territory we've punted all year.
Gunner will kick this one away from his 7-yard line.
Get a roll.
Wobbly
Get a
kick
roll.
that bounces at the 50 and takes a really good Hillcrest bounce all the way down to the 28-yard line of Thompson. So great punt turns out for Gunner as he gets it away from the returner. He's not able to fair catch it or get a return. Takes a good Hillcrest bounce, and the Warriors will start out at their 28.
I think it was a 52-yard punt, Brent, so that's pretty impressive by Gunner, the punter, right there. You know, some of that was on the roll, but you know, that happens sometimes.
And that's a part of the kick, right?
That's absolutely part of the kick, though. I was a little bit surprised that the return man for Thompson, I didn't quite get a name, I believe it was number 7, didn't pick it up after that initial bounce. I thought he had a chance there, though.
That's Price Lewis,
Price Lewis, there we go.
All right. Seaborn with a new running back behind him now. Now an empty set. 3 wides to the left, 2 to the right. Back to pass, looking across the middle, and it is caught. The tackle made at about the 44-yard line after the completion to the wide receiver, Trey Knight.
Good ball. Yeah.
He just delivers it.
Golly,
he sees it, and he delivers it, no hesitation.
Broken record. You know, the wide receivers are open, whether it be by a yard or by several yards, and Seaborn just continually puts the ball that's very catchable right on the money.
Seaborn takes it, hands it off, a big gap up the middle, and he is gone. 65-yard touchdown run for the Warriors. And their running back, number 21, he's not on my list here. Number 21, I believe.
Yeah, he's not listed on the roster that we have right then, so we're not sure who it is, but I'll be honest, Brent, I think you and I could have picked up about 20 there. I don't know how much. I don't even know if he was touched as he kind of went through that line there. So, you know, that quick hitter right there, Thompson going a little more quickly on that drive between plays. Pat's defense maybe a little winded after 3 earlier tough drives.
Extra point attempt up, and it is good. 28-3, 8:14 remaining in this first half, and it's just been a replay of the same thing over and over again with this Thompson offense. Every time they've been on the field, they've had it 4 times. They've scored 4 times.
You know, we've said it a lot. We can't stop everything at Thompson. There's simply too many weapons for us to do it right now. So, you know, it seems like when we give up or when we try to go ahead and you know, put a few more guys in the box and stop the run, Trent Seaborn, you know, eats us alive, you know, with those pinpoint passes. When we play a little bit more coverage, we see a play like that where he goes straight up the middle for a long touchdown run. So it's kind of the situation with all the talent Thompson has. It's very difficult for us to, it's almost like we have to pick our poison in some of these possessions.
Absolutely, that's exactly what I was going to say. Tiger Rock kickoff coming your way once again. Kick is high, and it will be fielded right near the goal line by Caden Smith. Caden looks to take it around to the outside. Puts his shoulder down, gets a few extra yards, down to about the 31, 32, 33-yard line. And the Pats will start there with pretty good field position for this drive.
Well, that young man knows who number 3 is right now because, and let me tell you, he sought him out. Caden sought him out. He could have possibly gone around the edge, and he said, no, thank you. We're down 28-3, and I'm going to take out a little frustration. But Caden kind of lowered that shoulder, legal hit, and it was like a pebble under a Mack truck right there. He probably barely felt it.
34-yard line, 33-yard line, first and 10.
All right, Chambly moves under center. Takes this snap, hands it off, and there are whistles, and I believe we're going to have a false start again, and another flag. A late hit's going to be called.
What it looked like. Number 44.
Thompson.
Yeah. Number 44.
Offsides called against the Warriors.
That was offsides, but was that not a late hit as well?
I thought it was. I think the flag that we saw over there was simply the same call. Was that defensive offsides on Thompson?
Either way, we'll take it. It's 5 yards for the Patriots, and it's first down and 5 from the 37 now.
We tick under 8 minutes in this first quarter right now. Fast-moving, in this second quarter right now. Fast-moving first half right here. First and 5 for the Pats.
Chambly under center. takes the snap, the quick handoff to Jacoby Harris around left end. Jacoby with a nice run, crossing the 45 to the 46, and that's enough for Stephen Fikes All-State first down.
Yeah, we'll see what Jamie does here. I wouldn't be surprised if this was similar to the, at least he hopes it's similar to that long drive in the first quarter that used up about half of that quarter. Just trying to get to the half, Brent. We do get the ball to start the second half, so if we can get some points here, who knows?
The snap, the pitch out to Jacoby. Jacoby makes a move to the inside, spins off a tackle, moves it forward to about the 48-yard line, so a good pickup of about 4 by Jacoby. I'm liking that pitch.
Dude, and that was a great job by Jordan, man.
That's what I'm saying.
Yes, absolutely.
It's a forward pass, actually.
And also, especially on first down right there where we pick up yards, get to that 2nd and 6. And there's a lot more plays for 2nd and 6 than there are 2nd and 10 or longer. So good job by that. We once again, as the play clock ticks under 15 seconds now as we just now get to the line. So good job by Coach Mitchell there, changing it up. And like you said, Brian, I think that goes.
It's like a point guard finding a driving player going toward the basket and getting it to him. Here's a quick swing out to Jacoby here on the left side. Jacoby tackled by an ankle tackle at about the 46-yard line, but it is a pickup of about 9 on first down, on second down, making it 3rd down and a yard.
Yeah, good ball right there. You know, we've kind of been on Trent Seaborn this whole game. What a good ball he throws, but Jordan throws a good ball too. You know, very catchable ball. That may have been technically a lateral there, but perfect ball. Allowed number 5 to find some space and bring up 3rd and right about 2 feet.
Pats look to the sideline for a play change. Jordan shares it with his teammates. Under center, he takes the snap, the handoff to Omari Taylor, and Omari is stopped short.
Yeah. They got it.
And a flag comes in.
They got it.
Personal foul here.
And it is way away from the ball. I mean, this was on the Hillcrest side right there, where you see the Thompson player and Jacoby going at it a little bit. There was a Thompson defensive player right there, number 7, Terry Robinson. I think.
So the Pats didn't pick it up on the play on 3rd and 1, but they get the 15 yards on the personal foul against Thompson, and that'll move it to the Thompson 31-yard line. Stephen Fikes All-State first down by way of penalty.
Yeah, and Coach Mitchell's not happy about something. I believe he also thinks not only was it excessive after the play, I think he also, and I'm unsure of the exact call, but I think he was suggesting that something within the play was a violation as well, whether it be a hold, whether it be a face mask. So he probably thought it should have been not only 15 extra, but 15 during the play.
Chamblee in the gun, drops back, slings this one over to the right side, caught at about the 26-yard line. Complete to Trent Curley that time.
It's the same thing, though. I know it's not a big play.
It's about 5 yards.
That's right, though. So last drive, we picked up 4 on first down. This drive, we pick up 5 on first down. Just little nickels and dimes right here that allows you to do more on second down. This allows you to give a chance to go play action, to go deep. Or it allows you to go right up the middle and try to pick up a 3rd and very short. Getting yards on first down against a team like Thompson is a must.
Jordan under center. Sweep to Jacoby, who lowers his shoulder, spins off of a tackle, moves it forward about 3 yards, and it's going to be 3rd down and 2 from the 32.
You know, I know everybody up here. We see Jacoby in the hallway quite a bit. He's not that big of a kid, though, sometimes. So to see him just kind of lower the shoulder and truck it, you can see how much he's grown as only a sophomore, though.
They give Jacoby a little bit more credit than I did. It's 3rd and 1. Jordan under center, gives it to Jacoby. Jacoby dances his way through, into the Centel Home Design red zone down to the 18, a pickup of 4, and that's enough for Stephen Fikes' All-State first down as the Pats are threatening once again.
Brent, do you watch much NFL football?
A pretty good bit, yeah.
I don't know if you know, I don't know how much Indianapolis Colts you've watched this year, but the leading running back in the NFL right now is Jonathan Taylor, right? Had a great year. Golly, the more I see number 5, Jacoby, he reminds me of Jonathan Taylor.
I can see it.
With that top-end speed, but also that shiftiness. Not only once he gets downfield, but making that initial man miss and picking up 3 yards.
It's those instincts.
Yeah, absolutely.
Feeling it. Jordan looking to the sidelines for a play change here on 1st and 10 from the 18 of the Warriors.
We're going to take number 2.
Yeah, looks like we're going to have to take a timeout here as the play clock goes down to 1. So the Pats will take a timeout, and with that timeout, we will take a break as well. Your score, Thompson 28, Hillcrest 3, but the Pats threatening. Back after this. This is the Hillcrest Football Broadcast Network.
Hey, I got a few.
For that, a lot of the finances were now not on my parents but on me. I remember telling my teller this, and she had such amazing advice to set up 2 savings accounts. One could be used solely to build up, and then the other could be used for emergencies. And I still have both of those accounts to this day. The Alabama Credit Union employees really have your back and are willing to do everything in order to give you great service.
All right, we are back. And, Brian, you have some RSV Design scoreboard updates for us real quickly before we...
I got a few, Brent, trying to call the game and get a couple of these, but just a couple I have so far. Very early, Hewitt-Trussville trails Prattville 3-0.
Wow.
Central of Phoenix City up 14-3 against Carver. One more and we'll get back to action. Enterprise leading Opelika 14-0. Thank you to Robert Spetz Vandersford at RSV Designs.
Jordan under center. Quick pass over here to the right to Caden Smith. He lowers his shoulder, but he will be brought down after a very short gain, maybe a yard.
What do you think, Brent? I think that was close to 3 right there, okay?
So it's hard to tell from our angle, but you're right. You're right.
Yeah, so I thought it was a generous spot, but picking up 3.5 there, and broken record like I am, another picking up something in first down, whether it be 3, 4, 5 yards, where you're not behind the chains and you open up that playbook even more as we tick under 3 minutes in the first half.
Jordan under center. Fullback behind him is DeJuan Johnson. Omari Taylor, and here's a sweep to Jacoby. Jacoby looks for some room around the left sideline. He's got a pretty good little gain. Like I said, from our angle, it's kind of hard to tell exactly how much he has here, so we'll have to look at the sticks and see where they marked him out because we can't see where he goes out because of the players on the sideline.
I think he picked up about 3 there, so I think it's going to bring up about 3rd and 4, 3rd and 5 right there. I'll say this. Thompson's playing through the whistle. I know they've already gotten one unsportsmanlike, but they are continuing to tackle us through that sideline, though. So interesting to see as this game moves on if they do pick up any more flags, though.
Jordan in shotgun, calling the signals. Here's the snap. Jordan will keep it and pitches it out to Jacoby. Jacoby looks for some room around the right side. He fights his way inside the 5 down to about the 2-yard line, and it will be 1st and goal for the Pats.
You're using your word there, Jonathan Taylor, a.k.a. Jacoby. That great shiftiness there. I mean, you see that, making that one guy miss with that one step right there, able to maybe turn in a 3-yard gain into a 10-yard gain as we have 1st and goal from the 2.
Back to live action, the quarterback sneak.
There you go.
The end zone.
Pats. Let's
Touchdown,
go.
Patriots.
Let's go.
Jordan Chambly on the quarterback sneak, cutting the lead to 28-9 here with 2:26 remaining in this first half.
That's a great drive, man. That was not a big play drive. That was sitting there. That was possessing the ball. That was great calling by Coach Mitchell and Coach Guy, picking up yards on 1st down, allowing yourself to sustain that drive. And Jordan, Caden, Jacoby, we had a whole host of players. Amari getting into action there to kind of get the Pats back in the game.
Dr. Brandy Patterson of Brookwood Women's Health Center, extra point attempt coming from Elijah Miller. Here's the snap. It's down. The kick is up, and the kick is good. So 28-10, and still life in the Patriots. And, man, the offense really needed to answer right there, and they came through. Still 18 points down, but here with 2:26 remaining, if the defense can come up with a stop and the offense gets the ball back to start the first half and to get a score, we got us a ball game.
We do, and you've seen every play of every game like I have. One of the more impressive drives we've had all year, in your opinion?
For sure.
I thought it was. A lot of drives in any level.
Gutsy drive.
Yeah, and it was just, like I said, it was a lot of picking up third and shorts right there. I don't know how many plays it was. That's usually Brad's department. 9 or 10 plays, though. So I think Coach Mitchell, if he had to kind of pick a drive so far this season that he really enjoyed and he thought was not only well called, but well executed, I thought that was a fantastic play by the Hillcrest offense. Lining up right now, number 99, Elijah Miller, looking to kick the ball away as we're at 2:26 left in this second quarter.
A Tiger Rock kickoff coming your way from the foot of the Hillcrest kicking team. That's what we like to see.
Oh, there it is.
Here's the onside kick, and it is recovered by the Warriors at about the 48. So bad news there.
Once again, I had no inside knowledge of that. It just felt like it was about time that we were going to try something like that, though. And remember, an onside kick, obviously, we're looking to get the ball right there, trying to get another possession this half. But that is now something that Prattville has to game plan for, that Oak Mountain has to game plan for. And if we're lucky enough to make the playoffs, something that our first-round opponent now has to game plan for. So the more stuff you put in, more plays like that, it allows or it makes that your opponents have a lot more to work on in practice.
All right, Seaborn in shotgun. 2:24. The defense really needs to come up with a stop right here. Here's a handoff over left guard, and that's not going to do it. He's all the way down to the 36-yard line, and that's a first down for the Warriors on first down.
It's the sort of thing now as the clock is winding down to that 2-minute mark. I would love a big turnover here, Brent, whether it be, via the interception or via Thompson putting the ball on the ground.
We'll take either one. Seaborn changes the play. He's now in an empty set. He drops back, looks downfield. He's being pressured. He steps up into the gun, and he will run it down to the 25-yard line. I saw a flag come in, I thought, but I guess I was mistaken.
Yeah, Trent's begging for one, and honestly, it was very close.
I was looking back here in the backfield. I thought it was going to be a hold.
Yeah, Trent was begging for a late hit right there. He went into the slide, and luckily the Hillcrest young man was able to pull up. He did touch him, but certainly not enough to warrant any sort of late hit call.
That's enough for a first down for the Warriors at the Patriot 26-yard line. Seaborn completes it here to the right side. Good job making the tackle out of bounds after a short gain is DJ Jones for the Pats.
Yeah, that clock, Thompson does have all 3 Tidwell paint and body timeouts. So even though the clock is at 1:17 left in the second quarter, I don't know how much of a factor it is with this high-powered Thompson offense.
Hillcrest defense needing to come up with something big right here at the very least. Hold Thompson out of the end zone and to a field goal attempt. Seaborn is being pressured. He rolls. He slings this one, and it is incomplete at the 8-yard line. It was a great pass by Seaborn, but his receiver just couldn't hold on to it at the 8, fortunately. And that'll bring up third down and long, 3rd and 8. Another big 3rd and long for this Hillcrest defense. The past 2 times they've held them to a 3rd and long. The Warriors have scored touchdowns on those 3rd and longs.
Oh, I like you saying that. That's the double jinx right there. You saying it means it's not going to happen on this one. Hey, that's the first pass I thought that Trent Seaborn was a little bit off on there, a little bit behind him. I can't think of another pass.
Well, he was running to his left and had to swing his hips around.
Once again, I'm not saying it wasn't a tough throw, but maybe we're starting to get a little more pressure on him.
Seaborn will hand this one off over right end and out of bounds. I think he got enough for the first down. Yeah. Just enough for the first down on
on the carry there by number 21.
Yeah,
for the Warriors.
Coach Mitchell's letting this guy have it, rightfully so. And he's pointing out a couple things. Not only is he, it should have been a late hit on Thompson on our sideline, but we see several of their linemen pulling right there and then pulling the Hillcrest defense to the line. So Coach Mitchell's giving him an earful.
All right, what's happening here?
Maybe a timeout by Coach Freeman of Thompson.
Coach Freeman of Thompson unhappy with the officials on the far sideline.
Is the play clock running?
I don't know, and they're conferring at about the 15-yard line.
What else he could be complaining about?
We're down to 44.9 seconds remaining in this first half.
I have no idea. Yeah, and they just reset the game clock. The game clock was at 47.7 and ticking.
Oh, okay, now it's at 53.
Correct. And I think Coach Freeman was saying, wait a second, that play went out of bounds. That clock needed to stop. So they do reset the game clock to 53 seconds left in this second quarter.
First down and 10 for the Warriors from the Hillcrest 15-yard line. The snap and the handoff up the middle to number 21, and he will take it in for 6. 34-10, 47 seconds remaining in the first half.
And we were close. We had that quarter, that outside blitz on right there, and number 22, Colin Norfleet. I mean, he was a tenth of a step away from laying a hand on that running back, but unfortunately, once he was able to break that line of scrimmage with those DBs blitzing on the outside, there really was not a second layer for him to get through.
Dr. Brandy Patterson, extra point attempt. Coming your way. It's up. It's good. 35-10. 47 seconds remaining in this first half. You know, there have been 3 opportunities that this defense has had to get off the field with third and long, and every time they've given up the big third and long, and that's been a huge difference in what's happened with this offense. Because if you think about it, if they held them on those third and longs, both of them were still in field. All 3 of them were still in field goal territory. But if they had held them, then the score, you take away what, 4, 8, 12 points from their score.
And, you know, we talked about in the pregame, and, you know, in the Bama Stuff Keys to Victory, it comes down to 5, 6, 7 plays a game, and unfortunately, you know, Thompson is able to execute on those a little better than we have. With all that being said, you know, we do have 47 seconds left in this first half, 1 Tidwell paint and body timeout left, and we do get the ball to start the second quarter. Elijah's got a heck of a leg, so we'll see if we can get into field goal range.
The kickoff is fielded at the 6-yard line as Jacoby looks for some room down the right sideline. He'll be knocked down right at around the 20-yard line, and the Pats will start there, 1st and 10.
How far do you think he'd let him try it, Brent? Basically, sometimes anything inside 50 as long as it was a half. I mean, what the heck?
Yeah, why not?
Yeah, I think so.
See what he can do. Give him a chance.
Yeah. So, I mean, if it's the 50, that means we need to get the ball to the 33-yard line. So we need to pick up basically around 47 yards here to give Elijah a realistic shot.
We have 40 seconds to get 47 yards.
And 1 Tidwell paint and body timeout.
Maybe Caden can find a soft spot back there.
Or let number 3 go up, our SEC wide receiver go up and make a play.
That's going to be a handoff to Jacoby. Jacoby looks for some room. Is that not Jacoby?
No,
that's
DeJuan Johnson.
DeJuan Johnson to about the 25. About a 5-yard pickup. It'll be 2nd down and 5. So it looks like the Pats may just be trying to bide their time and get to the dressing room.
Yeah, we see Coach Mitchell with the headset off right now. Maybe a decent indication that we're not going to run another play in this half, Brent, as the clock ticks under 15 seconds.
Yeah, game clock and play clock are about the same, so that's going to be it. And we will go to halftime with your score, Thompson 35, Hillcrest 10. We're back with the Stephen Fikes All-State halftime show right after this. This is the Hillcrest Football Broadcast Network.
What initially drew you to become a member of Alabama Credit Union, and how has your experience evolved since then?
Yeah, so I came for college, and my dad and I came down, and Alabama Credit Union was convenient to campus. Being young, first time opening a bank account and looking for some relationship. And so that's where I started. And then over the years, I have gotten married, had a family, and so it's just been with me every step of the way and in relationship with me.
Okay, we are back at Warrior Stadium, and we've got the Hillcrest Pride of Patriot Parkway Marching Band making their way to the field. Welcome to the Stephen Fikes All-State Halftime Show. Thanks to Stephen Fikes for being such a great sponsor for us all these years. It's 35-10 in favor of the Thompson Warriors, and tonight you get a view from behind, the rear view of the Pride of Patriot Parkway Marching Band, if you will, because, as we mentioned, we are set up over here in the visitors' bleachers. But, of course, we want you to, as always, enjoy the Pride of Patriot Parkway Marching Band, as we like to bring them to you every Friday night. Coming up later on our halftime show, we, of course, will have the RSV Design scoreboard update to let you know what's going on around the state. We'll take a look at the Mission Express Car Wash stat line, and of course what you live for, the college football preview brought to you by Hillcrest Tennis.
Man, we're the only ones who care about that, Brett. You and I, the three of us, have about a 50 deep text chain about it, and the rest of everybody else let us listen to the band.
Well, we do show the band.
I know
we do show the band, and we're about to show them right now. So as soon as they are ready to start, we will move to them and let you enjoy the sounds of the Pride of Patriot Parkway Marching Band. See you in a bit.
What up?
Yeah, no, literally. And like he's, but I literally was like.
right, there you have it. The Pride of Patriot Parkway Marching Band coming to you live from Warrior Stadium. It's the Stephen Fikes All-State Halftime Show, and it's time for us to bring you the RSV Design Scoreboard Update. So we usually do the stats first, but hey, since I already introduced you, Brian, let's go ahead and see what you got.
Okay, I'll preface this by saying if anybody has any local scores, would you text them to me, please? Because I've done okay with some state scores, but I don't have any local scores because I'm trying to just look on the AL.com site and Twitter right now. But once again, early on, the last I saw in the first quarter was Prattville up early on Hewitt-Trussville. Central Phoenix City starting to pull away from their Region 2 opponent, Carver of Montgomery, 27-14. Enterprise Opelika, another Region 2 7A matchup. Enterprise is now up 14-7. James Clemens laying it to Sparkman 17-0. Still looking for Central Tuscaloosa Brookwood. McAdory is now up 13-7 against Hueytown. The Ghosts add a touchdown to cut that lead from 13-7. Spain Park leading Chelsea 17-7. Saraland leading their their Mobile rival St. Paul's 28-3. And then once again, I got nothing on ACA at Tarrant, and I have nothing on Northridge versus Bryant. So if we have any of these local scores or you know somebody at the game, you can maybe message them and pass it along, and we can pass it along to our listeners, though. But we're certainly thankful to Robert Spence Vanderford at RSV Designs, as we
we get into whatever season you may need for Robin Spence Vanderford, you can hit her up at RSV Designs, and I know she'll be more than happy to take care of whatever need you may have, though. We're certainly thankful to RSV Designs for being a longtime sponsor of the broadcast, though. But
see if you can get that to come on.
Mr. Jones tries to do a little engineering here. So that's okay.
I don't know if we're going to be able to.
Well, I got a face made for radio, so it's very good for me.
Trying to get our studio camera up and running. We're having some issues with it, so
anything could break. That's the thing I'm rooting for to break.
Okay.
Kylie, did you fix it?
No, I don't think so. All right. Well, anyway, while we're waiting, we'll go ahead and we will do our Mission Express car wash stat line.
Well, we certainly thank Chase Smith about this. You know, Mission Express is the only locally owned car wash in the Tuscaloosa area, though. So, you know, much like many of our sponsors, you know, they are part of our community. They don't just have a business here. They're the ones who, you know, work in our community, shop in our community. So I know Chase would appreciate your business. If you do get to make it out that direction, be sure to mention the broadcast, and we certainly appreciate Chase's support this year. You know, hopefully he's getting his money's worth, Brent, so he considers doing it in the future, though.
All right, here we go with some stats from the first half, and you're probably going to be a little bit surprised at this. The first downs, Thompson with 13. You know, that's not really that surprising. Right. They had quite a few. They also had some really big plays as well. Hillcrest with 9 first downs. Here's the thing. The offense, for the most part, has done what they needed to do to keep Hillcrest in this game. It's just that the Hillcrest defense has not been able to stop the Warriors offense on those 3rd and longs.
And we've had two long drives that I remember. One kind of ended in a field goal. The other one did end in a touchdown. Had that initial drive that ended in the 4th and 1 there, and then a 4th drive we saw we were a little backed up in our own end zone, though. So, you know, once again, not a bad half overall. We were able to move the ball, but just like you said, Thompson was able to get those chunk plays, though.
370 yards total offense for Thompson, but not bad for Hillcrest at 140. Trent Seaborn has 201 yards passing. Completions 11 out of 12.
I remember the one miss. It's that one miss when he was moving to his left, and it was a little bit off target.
And Jordan's only missed once as well. He's 8 for 9 for 78 yards, so not having a bad half himself. Rushing the ball, the Warriors with 169 to Hillcrest 62, but the most important stat is the one on the scoreboard where Thompson has 35 and Hillcrest has 10.
Yeah, I mean, that's the only one that matters, right? You know, none of these yards or completions or carries or turnovers or any of that stuff really matters. You're mentioning Jordan, and Brent, you said he was 8 for 9, is that right?
Yeah, for 78 yards.
Yeah, I believe the only one that he missed was that first throw of the game right there, that little out route right in front of us. So I think he has gone 8 for his last 8, if I remember correctly. So good job by him of finding open receivers. I think also a good job by Jordan, you know, even when he's not had time, picking up a minimal gain or at least not losing any big chunks of yards.
All right, Brian. It's what you've been waiting for.
Oh, yeah, let's go.
It is time for the Hillcrest Tennis College Football Preview. Let's take a look at the Week 6 results. Brad was 3-2. He's now overall 17-13. You were 3-2. You're all overall 16-14, and I was 4-1. Overall 17-13. It's a tie for the first as Jones claws his way back into the competition.
Brent, listen, I know you're rooting for Hillcrest more than anything else. But besides Hillcrest winning, Brent, I think you want this competition more than anything else, though.
I just don't want Brad to win. I'm okay.
I don't care about that. I enjoy it. And I know we were texting earlier, putting into the group, although I am the one holding us back. I think it's pretty impressive. The group is 10 games above 500.
Yeah, we're all above 500.
Yeah, and as a group, 10 games above 500 against the spread. So that's pretty dang impressive.
Now let's look at these games that we have here for tonight. It's a pretty good slate here coming up for Week 7. And I've got Brad's picks here,
okay,
too.
Cool. I got them up as well, so I can help you out as we do it.
I'm going to do Brad's picks because I have a special surprise for you.
Okay.
It's going to be like he's here. You're going to feel like he's here.
Oh, I can't wait, Brent.
He gave us a little bit of text with his reasoning for why he made his picks.
Yes.
So I'm just going to kind of use my improv skills and expound on that a little bit and use the text that he gave us, and we'll go with Brad.
Oh, I can't wait to hear this.
So we'll start out with Brad. Bama is a 3.5-point favorite in Como, taking on the Missouri Tigers, the number 14 undefeated Missouri Tigers, looking really, really strong. What do you think? Well, I'm really torn on Bama. There's several things suggest that Mizzou would win this game, but I don't buy it. I think Bama's coming. I think Bama's got it. All right, Brian, what do you think?
I wasn't sure that sounded a little bit like Brad, and it sounded I'm not quite sure who it sounded. Hey, buddy, don't you put down my Brad impression. Hey, the jerk store just called. They ran out of you. I get it now. It looks like the Seinfeld character that was cut off the episode, I think. Okay. You know who I pick. I always pick Alabama. You got me a little off kilter right there with the Brad impression, but obviously, you know me. I can't go against Alabama. That's like going against your own mama.
Yeah, I know. 2 weeks ago I went against Bama against Georgia, right?
Yeah.
And Bama ended up winning. This is another one that's a lot of people are saying Mizzou's going to win this game outright. Sure. As a 3.5-point favorite.
Close game. It's still at 3.5. Open at 3.5. Still at 3.5.
Here's what I'm going to do. Yep. Of course, I want Bama to win. I want to pick Bama for this game to go with the 3.5. That's what my mind tells me, that Bama's going to win it and cover the spread. But you're going to be proud of me for this, because since the last time I went against my team in a close matchup like this, it caused Alabama to come out on top. So I'm going to go with Mizzou and see if that strategy works again.
As you know my rules are steadfast. I can't ever pick against my team no matter what.
You got to like this.
You got to understand, in my rationale, picking your team is bigger than a jinx. But I understand it, and we certainly appreciate it, though. So, Brett, you're going Missouri plus the 3.5.
No, I changed my mind.
Okay, never mind.
I changed my mind.
Brent is going, and it is going to be a family pick of the good guys.
Okay, I got to go with Bama. Okay, I'm going to let you go first this time. We've got Texas in the Red River. Gosh, I can never say that right. Red River rivalry.
Right.
And I'm supposed to be able to do tongue twisters. I'm a theater teacher.
Sure.
Say it 5 times fast. Red River rivalry. 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 Did I get it out?
If anybody's still listening, let's hope they are, but that was fantastic. And in this game, in the Red River rivalry, I am going to, even with John Mateer playing, Texas is not as bad as they've shown, in my opinion. So I'm going to go ahead and take the Longhorns.
Oh, you're going to take the Longhorns. Okay.
And the betting public is so far with me. This line is actually down to 1.5 points in Vegas right now.
Okay, and I think that Texas, the big matchup is Texas's offensive line, which has given Arch very little time, against Oklahoma's defensive line, which has been so dominant. What did they sack Auburn, like 47 times?
I mean, I think Jackson Arnold just got sacked again.
It was one of those honk if you sack Jackson Arnold type games, right? Yeah, so, I think that's where the game is going to be decided. And also, I don't think that you can put a whole lot of psychological advantages into this game because it's such a rivalry game. Both of these teams are going to be up for this. Oklahoma's trying to prove themselves. They're up to number 6. The whole Mateer situation is a big deal. Sure. Is he going to play? I think they're just playing mind games with him.
I think Oklahoma. Yeah, they announced him as probable this morning.
Right. So, I think they're just making Texas have to prepare for him to kind of throw him off their game. But I don't think Mateer's going to play. But I think Oklahoma's going to take it. I'll take the 2.5 points and go with Oklahoma.
Okay. Oh, okay.
All right, and let's see what Brad's got here. Brad, what do you think?
Well, I
don't know. Texas feels like the favorite here, and I think Arch will finally have a day. So there it is. Go Horns. Hook 'em horns, baby. Hook 'em horns.
I've never heard Brad say hook 'em horns, but I will go ahead and, yes, that is correct. So Brad and I both have Texas. You have Oklahoma on the second game we're picking.
All right, there we go. Okay, so this next one I will pick. It's Georgia, the number 10 team in the country, a 4.5-point favorite on the Plains at Auburn. You know, what year was it? I guess it was about 2013. Was it 2013, that miracle game where Auburn
that was
tipped pass that was caught for a touchdown at the end? I was at that game. Actually, I had tickets on about the 45-yard line. Went with Lindsay. That was a fantastic game. So, you know, Georgia has trouble with Auburn on the Plains. Auburn needs a win, but are they good enough to beat the Georgia Bulldogs? Gosh, 4.5 points. This one feels about right. I think Auburn is one of those teams that shows that they're a good, solid team, but they come up just short in these big games, and I think that's what will happen here, and I'll go with the Bulldogs in the 4.5.
That is great. Well, give us Brad's pick there, Brent Armstrong, real quick.
Well, you know, Georgia is the better team, but I'm wondering if Auburn will finally play like they have teased like they can all year long. I guess I just got to go with Georgia. I'll go with Georgia in the 4.5.
Thank you, Brad Jones right there, or whatever I said, Brent Armstrong there. Listen, I don't know. Is Hugh Freeze coaching for his job? Does he get another game if they lose it? Or do you think? I mean, it's close, probably. I don't know if he can survive. If he loses this week to Georgia and next week to Missouri, I believe the Hugh Freeze era may be over, though. So I think he needs one of these two games, certainly. Sometimes I do think it's going to be right around there. I do think it'll be within a one-score game. You know me. I'm not scared to pick Auburn if I think they're going to cover, but I do think Georgia, I think this is closer to a 6 or 7 point game instead of a 3 or 4 point game. So I am going to go ahead and take the Bulldogs, even though, like you were saying, to echo what you were saying, I think it's going to be a good ball game, though. And you know, it's a night game with Alabama being an 11 o'clock game. I think you and I will be able to see both of those in their entirety.
I won't see any of these games. I'll be fighting the nor'easter.
Oh yeah. What am I saying? You'll be in the Big Apple, right? Yep.
Fighting the nor'easter. Yep. It's gonna be a hard time. Gonna have a hard time staying dry this weekend.
That's okay. Yeah.
But it's still gonna be a great time, no doubt. Okay. So Brad, why don't you go first for this game with the Florida Gators, 8.5-point underdog at Kyle Field against the Texas A&M Aggies.
You know, Florida, they were supposed to be a pretty good team to start out the year. They're supposed to be pretty good, but you know they've shown that they're really not all that they were cracked up to be. Right? They're really not. They're really not. But I think that they put together a good game last week against Texas. You know, fighting for their lives and trying to save their coach's job. But can they put together 2 good games in a row? I think not. Go with the Aggies.
Go with the Aggies. I see right there. Did you take Auburn or did you take Georgia?
I took Georgia.
You took Georgia. I'm so sorry. I'm trying to write these down as well. Okay, yes, you're correct. Brad went ahead and took the Aggies right there. Man, this is the one I took a while trying to decide as I was looking over it today. I think I'm going to go ahead and go with Florida, right? Not just to spice it up a little bit, but I do think they showed me a little something last week, and even though it's going to be a tough game on the road, I do think Florida keeps it within that 8.5 number, though.
Yeah, I feel the same way. I think 8.5 is too big of a number. Yep. I think that Lagway finally found his groove, and he got that freshman receiver back who was very impressive, and I think Florida is on a roll, and they may win it outright, but I think they will, at the very least, keep it closer than 8.5, so I'm going with the Gators.
Yep.
All right, and the final one is a big game nationally, as it's a top 10 matchup between the number 7 team in the country, Indiana, and Oregon. But the Hoosiers are on the road at Autzen. Who you got? You go first.
Real quick, what is the mascot we have up here for them? For Indiana?
It's a Hoosier.
That's a Hoosier? I don't think I knew what a Hoosier was.
I don't know. It looks like a bull or something. It looks like an energy drink.
That's right.
It's a Red Bull.
Maybe that's what it is. I went ahead and I took Oregon. I took the Ducks right there. I think that's a tough team, Indiana. I don't know if they quite have the chops to do it.
All right, and we'll have to go with mine and Brad's picks in here in just a minute because we are ready to start this second half of action. Here we go. All right. Tiger Rock kickoff. The Pats will get the ball to start the second half, desperately needing a score to try to climb their way back into this one. Total leather. High deep kick is fielded at the 1 by Caden Smith. He's up to the 15, to the 20, the 25. Cuts it back upfield across the 30, and Caden bulls his way forward to the 35. Caden Smith, great job giving the Pats good offensive field position to start this first drive of the second half.
You want to knock out the last two?
Yeah, knock these out. Okay. All right, I think 9.5 points is too much. I think Indiana's a good team. I think too many people are having way too much confidence in Oregon. They're a great team, but I think Indiana's going to hang with them. They'll lose the game, but they'll stay within the 9.5. And for Brad, what has he got? Brad has Oregon as well.
Look at Oregon, baby. Let's go. That was Dick Vitale.
Yeah. He's Dick Vitale-ish a little bit, isn't he?
That's kind of that energy, you know, baby.
All right, here's a toss sweep to Jacoby. Jacoby fights his way to get back to the original line of scrimmage, but he will be stopped there, and it'll be 2nd and 10 for the Pats.
You know, and kind of it's tough shifting back to action after surviving the Brad impression for 5 games right there. But, you know, I think something we did on that last drive, Brent, was a good job of establishing something on first down to where we did not have this 2nd and 10. So we'll see if the Pats can do something right here.
Chamblee under center, play action, slings this one over to the left side and over the head of Caden Smith, who was open at about the 42-yard line. It'll be 3rd and 10.
Did you notice anything about the routes there? Caden was the only person in the route, right? We maybe had some running backs that may have come out, flexed out afterwards, but he was the only wide receiver going down the field. So not a lot of choices for Chamblee right there. And sometimes that's not a bad thing. If 3 is your only option, ball's probably going to 3, though. So a little bit of a high throw, but hopefully similar to the first half, he can get it out of his system and get some big completions.
Jordan being blitzed, steps up, but cannot break free. He's brought down behind the line of scrimmage, sacked back at the 30, a 5-yard loss, and the Pats will have 4th and 15 and will be forced to punt.
It's tough. You know, they brought 6 right there, Brent. I think they kind of saw the same thing we did, and they said, well, Hillcrest, if you're not going to put people in the routes, we're not going to worry about them. We're going to go ahead and, you know, bring the house there. I did not see, you know, Thompson was bringing 4, maybe 5 in the first half. That's the first time they had that extra rusher there, likely in response to that 2nd down play.
All right, so Gunnar Webb lines up at his 17-yard line to kick this one away. He gets the snap. The kick is away. It's a nice, high, wobbly spiral that takes another Hillcrest bounce and will go out of bounds at about the 30-yard line. So Thompson will start there 1st and 10. The defense has not stopped the Thompson offense this entire night. They've got to find a way to get some stops.
You know, and we mentioned it several times. I think it was, 3 different possessions. You know, Thompson did score on all 5 offensive possessions in the first half, but 3 of those times we had them in 3rd and long and somewhere in that possession just can't get off the field. So got to do something there. No turnovers, if I remember correctly. No sacks of Trent Seaborn there. So hopefully the Pats can have a little more success defensively. Really give ourselves at least some chance here in the second half.
Seaborn in the gun. The snap, the handoff over left guard. Pickup of about 4 to the 34-yard line. It'll be 2nd down and 6.
2nd and 6 for the Warriors.
We'll see what Thompson does. You know, they really had their way with us in the first half, so we'll see if Thompson does anything differently here in the second half, just trying to make sure that the Patriots don't have any hope, right? I think Thompson did a good job of kind of delivering early and making sure Hillcrest did not have a chance to really even get its feet wet in that first half.
9:41 remaining in the 3rd quarter. Thompson with the ball for the first time. Their offense. Zay Hall makes this tackle Nice form tackle at about the 39-yard line. It is a pickup that is about a yard short of the first down. It'll be 3rd and 1 from the 39.
Yep, but Thompson keeping the ball on the ground again, using a lot of that play clock on the first play, but to the line quickly there. Have not mentioned Zay's name a ton tonight.
The snap, slant across the middle is caught, and he is gone. 60-yard touchdown reception from Trent Seaborn to Darian Mosley. Those guys, as you mentioned many times, will be playing on Saturdays very soon.
He ran away from us. Yeah, it's a good play. I don't know how long that ball was in the air, Bryant, but it was only, maybe at most 10 yards there. He hit that seam and, he
was gone.
I don't know if he's a track kid or not, but if he doesn't, whoever's the Thompson track coach, you need to make sure you get him. You need to get him out on the track come spring.
41-10 now, 8:59 remaining in the third. Snap, placement, kick, up, good. 42-10.
Yeah, it's broken record once again. This Thompson team, this looks like a juggernaut, to think that Grayson, beat them pretty handily, and then Clay Chalkfield did the same thing 2 weeks ago in a much tighter game.
Here's my question: how good is Clay Chalkfield?
No 6'8"? I read an article on AL.com this week that said they're the best team in the state. I
think they proved it
no
2 weeks ago.
They did, and we'll see reclassification come out within the next 2 months or so, and a lot of the stuff I've read is guessing that Clay Chalkfield moves up to 7A in this next reclass. And if we move down, Brent, that would be perfectly fine with me.
Is that a possibility?
That's certainly a possibility. Certainly not a guarantee, but certainly a possibility.
Tiger Rock kickoff. Total leather. High and deep and into the end zone. Pats will start on the 20.
Yeah, we have not mentioned their kicker a lot tonight because all we've seen him
solid.
is 6 extra points there, but they had a little feature on him pregame up on the Jumbotron right there. I think they feature a couple of their athletes each week, and had an interview with him, and he said in the interview he felt comfortable inside of 52. Teenage boys sometimes overestimate their strength at times, but everything I've seen on his kickoffs, he's been quite good.
Looks like he might be telling the truth.
I will take our young man, Elijah Miller, any day of the week, though.
Absolutely.
All right, Hillcrest starting out from its own 20 with its second possession. First possession ending in a 3-and-out for the Pats. We'll see if we can have any more success as Jordan's under center.
Belly snap and the belly G to Omari Taylor. Omari with a nice gain to about the 27, 28-yard line. It'll be 2nd and 2. That's the kind of play we need on first down.
Yeah, it's twice we've seen the belly G. Once on a 3rd and 1 and once right there on a 1st and 10 that I remember. Both of them very successful. That quick hitter there, good job by our running backs. Number 20 right there, Omari Taylor. Certainly not the biggest young man, but if you can kind of get underneath that Thompson D-line, he can certainly fell forward for a good 7-yard gain.
Yeah, they said his knee was down after 7 yards, so it'll be 2nd down and 3. Jordan in the gun will keep this one around right end, and he dives forward to the 30-yard line, and that should be enough for a Stephen Fikes All-State first down.
Good job. I think we mentioned it earlier. One of Jordan's biggest weapons is his legs, though. So anytime you can get that mobile quarterback running, big kid, every bit of 6'2".
Jordan under center this time, with Jacoby Harris behind him at the tailback position. The ball is batted up into the air. Jordan is able to knock it down. It went high in the air.
Yeah, Brett, watch his snap. Jordan does not handle it cleanly, and then that affects the rest of the play. He had to look down to get the snap because he bobbled it. By the time he looked back up, the timing was off. Hits the Thompson player, I believe, in the helmet, Brent.
Yeah, I assumed it.
So after the fortunate incompletion for the Pats, it's 2nd down and 10 from the 30.
Headsy play by Jordan to spot the ball and knock it down.
Go for the rebound.
Yeah, absolutely. I know Coach Shuttles would love him on a basketball court.
Jacoby takes this one, looking for some room around right in. He reverses his field, but he's got nowhere to go as he's hemmed in behind the line of scrimmage. He'll lose a yard. It'll be 3rd and 11.
Thought he did a good job, Jacoby, that is, in the first half of maybe not cutting it back when nothing was there. I thought he was fortunate to lose only one there. When he cut it back, I was thinking, oh, no, it's going to be a 5-yard loss there. But
it's hard to outrun these guys.
It certainly is, because they're all big, but they're all fast, too. So brings up 3rd and 11 right now as we tick under 7:20 left in this first half.
Jordan back pass being pressured and tries to hit Trent Curley across the middle at about the 39-yard line, but it's at his feet, incomplete, and Gunner, the punter, takes the field again.
Yeah, Gunner's had a busy night tonight, and, Coach Mitchell's not happy with something Jordan did right there. He's kind of in his ear right there. I don't know if he missed a read. I don't know if he missed a signal, if it was the wrong play call, but, Mitchell kind of let him have it a little bit, then gave him a little slap on the butt, and you could see him say something positive, and Jordan walked away with nodding his head.
Gunner will kick this one away as he stands at his 15-yard line. He gets it away. It's another wobbly kick that will bounce, and this time take a Thompson bounce all the way back to the 44-yard line.
Yeah, unfortunately, that was only a 14-yard punt right there. Gunner's kind of lived by the bounce, and he died by the bounce there. He's had several that he's picked up 30, 40 yards in total for, but that one he had to get a little more air under. I think that rusher, I think we had him picked up, but Gunner may have saw him out of the corner of his eye, and it affected his kick.
7 minutes remaining in the third. Not looking good for the good guys. 42-10.
Brent, it's not. See if our defense can get something here. See if we can get some momentum here. Maybe we can get a stop, get the offense back on the field.
Seaborn will keep this one around left end.
It's a face
mask. He'll be slung out of bounds, yes, unfortunately, by the face mask. So that'll move it, even though it was a good play for a loss. It will be a positive play after the face mask penalty.
Not sure who that was on. Was it Marvin Johnson, number 28?
I think so.
Yeah, either way, it's so hard. Trent's so shifty. He's got, we mentioned it in the first half. It's not just his arm, but it's the legs that make him so dangerous. And when you're able to get a hold of him, you're just trying to grab anything you possibly can. And unfortunately, sometimes it's that face mask and
it's
15 more.
Variety, yeah.
Unfortunately, it's going to push Thompson inside the Hillcrest 30-yard line.
Yep, new line of scrimmage is the 29. Does Thompson look like Texas Tech to you?
Yeah,
with the red tee and
that's
the black
that's
uniforms?
a very good one. Even kind of the field looks like the end zones kind of look Texas Tech-ish.
Texas Tech, a good team this year. Handoff up the middle, lots of room, cutting it to the outside, inside the 10, down to about the 2-yard line, I believe, is where they'll mark him out of bounds. It'll be 1st and goal for the Warriors.
Golly, it just seems like at any point, Thompson, whether it be through the air or on the ground, we don't have a lot of answers so far. This is the Thompson 7th drive, and unfortunately, they're 2 or 3 yards away from putting up their 7th TD.
Yeah. 1st and goal it is. Seaborn in the gun. Snap, the handoff over right end and into the end zone for the touchdown. 7 for 7 on their drives here tonight for the Thompson Warriors. 48-10, 6:36 remaining in the third.
That's a good drive by Thompson. Yeah, it's Coach Freeman, they've done a lot right today, and they're on to try their 7th extra point of the night.
Snap, hold, kick, good, 49-10.
Looking a little bit about Thompson as we kind of looking ahead for them. They got next week. they got a big rivalry game for Thompson as Thompson goes down the road to up I-65 to Hoover next week. They go to Hoover. And Brent, if you remember correctly, last year, Hoover actually upset Thompson in the regular season. So you know Thompson wants to get some payback against the Warriors in that instance, though. We see right now the 8th kickoff for the Thompson Warriors this evening, the opening kickoff, then after their 7 scores. We see the host of Pats, the normal cast of characters back there for the good guys.
Yep. Tiger Rock, thanks for sponsoring these 3,000 kickoffs here tonight. Total leather this high and returnable for Caden Smith, who fields it at the 5, stumbles his way forward. Caden fighting hard for yards. He'll be brought down at about the 20.
Yeah, the Pats return team, you know, we picked up a few good yards, a few good yardage here and there, but overall, you know, Thompson's special teams unit has kind of mirrored their offense and their defense and been very, very smart tonight. See that Hillcrest O-line coming back out there. We do see got a change at quarterback right now.
You know, I noticed that Jordan seemed a little bit shaken up on that sack. Yeah. He was really hit hard by several players, and he came out for the last series, but it may be one of those things where we're just kind of throwing in the white flag just a little bit and trying to save Jordan for these upcoming 2 games that can potentially be playoff earning games for the Patriots.
Now, Brent, I'm not sure who took it, but as we do some technical work here, I do think we're at a timeout right now if we need a quick break, though.
Yeah. Well, I think we waited a little bit too long, so we'll just keep it here.
We will keep going. Yeah, we'll see right now. We see Harrison Colburn's going to be entering the game, our freshman quarterback. You know, I'm not quite sure if it's a health thing for Jordan or if it's just, you know, Coach Mitchell, like you said, maybe just want to try something different, give the freshman a snap or two here in a big-time environment. You know, remember, we're always planning for the future, and although Jordan's only a junior right now, it is something, anytime you can get some of these younger kids some snaps in there. I think we got a few changes on the O-line as well. You know, Harrison has taken some big snaps this year in some big-time games. Don't see too many freshmen do that in 7A football.
Harrison will keep it around right in. He'll fight forward to about the 30-yard line. Nice pickup of about 9 by Harrison. And it will be 2nd down and 1.
Harrison's a big boy. He's 14 years old, but he is certainly a big boy. Did not get that snap cleanly. Was able to kind of corral it on his hip and take it around the right end. Good job by Harrison. Maybe turning a disastrous play into a very positive one, picking up 8 or 9 yards on 1st down.
Harrison under center once again on 2nd and 1. Take the snap and hand it off to DeJuan Johnson, and DeJuan's got some room across the 40 down to the 43-yard line. That'll be a Stephen Fikes All-State 1st down.
And I've noticed on both of the snaps for Harrison right there, obviously, you know, the defense has got a certain they've gotten used to Jordan's just the cadence and you know, his way of calling it. That was twice in a row that Thompson almost jumped off sides just with the different cadence from Harrison there. So something to watch going forward.
I think we have a few new faces in there.
Oh, we got a lot of new faces.
For Thompson.
Right, both teams.
All right, Harrison in shotgun. Another running back in the game for Hillcrest, Caden May.
That's again. They finally called it. They finally got Thompson. It's the 3rd time, and to the young man, and I think they were in a 4-3 there, so it's probably defensive tackle. He's not directly over the center, but that was the 3rd time. He just left a half second early, and finally it cost the Warriors.
All right, so 1st and 5 from the 47.
play clock just now ticking under 30. Plenty of time right now for the freshman. Under center once again. Quite a different offensive philosophy with the freshman out there, Brent.
It's going to be a toss to DeJuan Johnson.
Face mask.
And yeah, he has his helmet pulled off. Are you kidding me? There's no flag. He pulled his helmet off.
Yeah, I don't know if it was as much the face mask it did, then he went helmet to helmet.
Is there no flag?
Well, I thought it should have been a face mask, obviously, and I thought it should have been a targeting as well.
Is there no flag?
No, there is no flag down. It's obviously.
But that's the most ridiculous. I'm sorry, I'm not one who's very adamant about these things, but I was looking at this in binoculars, and I saw it clearly with the face mask in his hand and ripped his helmet off his head.
Right, and like I was saying, I think it was as much the helmet that got it off his head.
No, it was the hands. Brian, I was looking through these binoculars. Right. I was extremely close up on this. How can you not throw a flag on that? I've never seen such an egregious miss by officials.
Right, and I think they've had a tough night overall, and I think we see
that is egregious.
Dads out there
egregious.
as well.
I'm going to show you. I'm going to show you this because I can back up the timing here. On the
well, either way, Brett, no matter what it is,
it just makes me angry because that's dangerous.
Yeah, he's up now, so we're certainly happy he's on his feet right now.
That's just absolutely dangerous to not make that call.
Yeah, good job right there by Zero. He's a little shaken up there. He and his family are certainly worried about that. Great job by our head athletic trainer, Rebecca, heading on out there, taking good care of all of him.
You got to be kidding me, though. Oh, yeah, bring it, fans. That was ridiculous. Brian, I'm telling you, and I'm not usually this adamant about this kind of thing, but that was egregious. I mean, they need to look at that at the AHSAA.
Second and 10 right now for the Patriots.
Caden May will get this one, and Caden fumbles it, and the Warriors pick it up and will run it in for 6. Oh, my goodness.
Yeah, tough turn of events right there for the Pats. We saw the missed call on the face mask right there. Tough one there. And then we see number 9. I think that was Colton Moore, the senior linebacker. Caden May got popped as soon as he got the handoff there. Couldn't quite spot the ball right there. Brent showing me the replay right now as Thompson lines up. Right there. Then the helmet knocked it off. Right.
He pulled him down. Right. Pulled the helmet off.
Yeah, I don't think anybody was disagreeing that it was obviously a face mask call.
It just makes me angry.
But if you go back as well, it's obviously targeting and not just the face mask. I think that's a different kicker in there for Thompson right now. So
56 to 10.
Tough turn of events for the Patriots right there. No matter how you shape it, but we're certainly happy. Number 0 for us was able to walk off on his own power. Hopefully no serious injuries there. So, but once again, yeah, that was a pretty big miss by the officiating crew on that play. Unfortunately, we're going to see another kickoff right now for the Thompson Warriors. This is going to be their ninth kickoff for the night for them. And we do already have a running clock here in the third quarter, as that clock is about to tick down to under 2 minutes in the third quarter. So that hot clock, both coaches can agree to that. And, probably Coach Freeman and Coach Mitchell agreed to that at some point during the halftime. Yeah.
Tiger Rock kickoff coming your way. You talk about Brad impressions. Me getting upset over that face mask was kind of a Brad impression.
Yeah, that was a little more than Brad went off on him there, dude.
I don't know. Yeah. Jacoby takes this one at about the 5. Looks for some room. No, it's not Jacoby. Returning for the Pats that time is Arkel Gladden.
Yeah, Arkel, with that running clock, you're going to guess this
the rest of this game probably doesn't take too long, Brent, though. So, Coach Mitchell, especially after, that missed call by the officiating, that scary moment right there, the last thing we want in a game that's well out of hand is certainly for one of our young men to get hurt, though. So I'm going to guess, we see Harrison back out there under center right now. And this may be the last play of this quarter, though, Brent.
Yeah, I believe so. Harrison puts it on the ground, and it looks like Thompson may have it. Oh, my goodness. It is a comedy of errors here tonight.
It's a tough one, man. Yeah, it's tough for the freshman to come in there. This is, I don't know who's the center and who he's used to taking snaps from, but it's a tough situation for him. And it's a big moment for him playing in front of this huge 7A stadium, defending state champion. So tough moment there, but
that's the end of the third.
That's the end of the third quarter.
Your score 56-10 in favor of the Warriors. Back after this on the Hillcrest Football Broadcast Network.
What initially drew you to become a member of Alabama Credit Union, and how has your experience evolved since then?
Yeah, so I came for college, and my dad and I came down, and Alabama Credit Union was convenient to campus. Being young, first time opening a bank account, and looking for some relationship, and so that's where I started. And then over the years, I have gotten married, had a family, and so it's just been with me every step of the way, and in relationship with me.
Back at Warrior Stadium, it has not been a fun night for the Hillcrest Patriots. Trailing 56-10 now. 2 fumbles now by the Hillcrest offense in the last 2 possessions. The first one was picked up on a scoop and score to make it 56-10, and now Hillcrest gets the ball back, and on the first snap, they fumble it again, and Thompson recovers it at the Hillcrest 14-yard line. So Thompson there with the ball, 1st and 10.
It's a new quarterback for them.
Yes, it is.
I believe it is. Yeah,
number 10.
It's number 10 for the Warriors right there. That looks like
Zealand Danielson.
Zealand Daniels. How old is Zealand?
He's a sophomore.
He's a sophomore. So I don't know if he's Trent Seaborn's heir apparent in 2 years, or if they have somebody younger, kind of in the pipeline going at this point, though. But anyway, that's a great moment for him, though. With how good Trent Seaborn is, he probably doesn't get a ton of snaps.
He probably gets a few with the way they run away with some of these games.
That's a good point, Brent.
All right, the running clock and the play clock being run down to 5. The snap and the handoff. The tackle made by the Hillcrest defense at about the 9-yard line. So that'll bring up 3rd and about 6 for the Warriors.
And I know Coach Mitchell and Coach Freeman are friendly with each other. It's always tough to be too good of friends with one of your opponents. So, I know he probably does not want to run up the score, but at the same time, it's tough to tell the kids not to play hard, especially some of these kids who simply don't get in the game a ton.
Danielson letting the play clock run down once again. The snap and the handoff, and a good job coming up to stop the running back behind the line of scrimmage. A loss on the play, and that'll bring up 4th down for the Warriors. So at least the defense has held them out of the end zone, but it looks like the offense is staying on the field.
Yeah, I don't know. I think kicking a field goal right now feels like it's rubbing in a little more than just going for it. So we'll see. But this is the first time, I believe, that we've seen that Thompson's even had to get to 4th down tonight. So in shotgun right now for the Warriors, 4th and 9. Continue to let that play clock tick down. Now 8, now 7. Handoff to the right side, number 27.
And it will be brought down in the backfield. Good job coming up to make the tackle for the Pats. It's DeMarcus Ryle. So So the Pats will take over on downs. The first time tonight that the Hillcrest defense has stopped the Thompson
and you know,
offense.
honestly, with this clock running now, this game's not going to last a ton longer. So we maybe talk a little bit about the Hillcrest schedule moving forward. You know, the last time we'll be on the road during the regular season, you know, our kids get Monday and Tuesday off. You know, a little mini fall break for our students. They're certainly looking forward to it. So, but next week is also homecoming week. So that kind of brings some unique challenges. I was talking to Coach Mitchell earlier in the week about the challenges a head coach faces during homecoming week, and he felt there was a big advantage for Hillcrest that we did have that fall break, because Coach Mitchell could dictate a lot more what they did during the day, you know, to where he could keep them into the field house. He could make sure they were not involved in some of the shenanigans a lot of their classmates will be.
Harrison will toss this one around right in. This is Arkel Gladden, who will move it forward to about the 20-yard line. Pickup of about 3. It'll be second down and 7 as the clock continues to roll at 8:23. I guess the only good thing that can come out of this tonight is we'll get out a little bit earlier than usual.
No, you're right. You're right. So I know you have an early flight to catch. You know, we do got to, you know, the rest of us got to drive back to Tuscaloosa, but golly, I wish we got out of here at midnight. It was a ball game, but
I'd be okay with that.
Yeah, I would too, Mr. Jones. But either way, you know, we're gonna live to fight another day. Give some of our younger kids some experience.
Harrison takes the snap, hands it off on the belly G. Short gain. It'll be third down and 5.
I know I keep harping on a freshman man out there, Brent. I mean, this kid was playing for Duncanville last year. You know, you can imagine that. Like, last year at this time, he's getting ready for the city-county championship against Eccles or something.
Right.
And now he's playing Thompson in front of how many people on their homecoming, staring at a sign that they've won 5 state championships, you know, in the last 7 years.
Right,
so it's got to be a surreal moment for him. You know, we know his family a little bit, for them as well. So despite some of his early struggles, I think he has a bright future ahead of him for Hillcrest.
Harrison will keep it, and he'll be brought down behind the line of scrimmage. It will be fourth down for the Pats, and I imagine the punting team will come out.
Unfortunately, I think you're right. We'll see. Is it Gunner punting again? It's Gunner's back there. Okay, cool. Yeah, giving the K-ball to the official right there. We see Callan Kozan right there is our snapper. 1 second, I just want to speak to somebody real quick.
You go right ahead. All right, so Gunner stands at his 5-yard line. He's lined up many times tonight around his 10, inside his 10 to punt away. He'll do it once again. Here's the snap. Kick is away. Nice wobbly spiral that will bounce at the 48-yard line. Take a sideways bounce and be downed by the Patriots at about the 47-yard line. So with the running clock at 6:15 and counting, if you're just joining us by some chance, 56-10, your score. This one has been dominated by the Thompson Warriors. The Pats actually had a few bright moments in the first half.
Oh, never mind. I thought you meant while I was talking.
A few bright moments in the first half with opportunities to make a game of it, but Thompson just too powerful, just pulled away.
You know, real quick, I was talking to 2011 alum Trey Davis, and then, you know, sometimes he lives in Chelsea now, and he's talking how he watches every single one of our broadcasts. And he said he appreciates how much passion we have during it, though. So I think sometimes we forget how many Hillcrest alum probably check us out from different parts of the state or even the country, though, Brent.
Yeah, if he watches back on this one, he's going to appreciate me after that.
Well, listen, man, that's okay. Listen, there's nothing wrong with that. You care about Hillcrest, you care about our kids, and just like the rest of us do. So I think, you know, sometimes, God knows I do it more than the rest of us. I start getting worked up over stuff, but it's just because we do care. We care about the well-being of these kids. But it's neat to see Trey. He was on arguably one of the best Hillcrest teams we've ever had, the 2010 team that fell in the third round to Hoover. 2010?
Yeah, I think that's right. At Roy Johnson Stadium.
You're the Hillcrest historian.
Yeah, but I'm not getting any younger though. So that's the big problem though. So no, but you're right. No.
Here's a run up the middle, short of the first down as he burst through to about the 45. Okay. Hey, you know, speaking of getting younger, you and I both have birthdays coming up.
We do. We have birthdays. We get one more game broadcast of our current ages, and then we go. So anyway, though, we'll see. We'll see all of this. And Brent, I know you're wondering. You have to be.
I am wondering.
Is Thompson even close to breaking the all-time scoring record?
No.
No, they're not.
No, not even this season.
No.
Didn't they score 69 earlier this season?
Yeah, against some team in Northport. But do you know what their all-time scoring record is?
Oh, gosh. 74.
You're close. It's 71.
Okay.
Now, if you get the year right, Brent.
Oh, don't do that.
You have done some research, okay?
Okay.
There's no way I'm going to have to tell it to you. There's no way.
71. Hold on. I'm going to say it was 2019.
Not close. It was September 13th of 1962.
Hell, it was close, yeah. Only 50 years off.
I was about to say, though. So, anyway. Now, Thompson, like I said, they travel to Hoover next week for a big matchup there. We'll see if we can get a few more RSV Design score updates for the post game.
The snap and the handoff on 4th down. The Hillcrest defense holds again. And they will take over on downs with this running clock at 3:02. We're going to be out of here in 3 minutes.
Golly, no kidding. I think there's sometimes we've not even gotten to halftime yet. Probably be pretty quick in the post game. So RSV Design score update right now. McAdory leading Hueytown with 10 minutes left in the third quarter. That score is going to be 23-13. See Harrison back under center.
Handoff over right guard.
Oh.
And Caden May with the carry. Nice pickup. About 20 yards on the pickup for Caden.
Yeah, continuing some RSV Design score updates. Saraland leading St. Paul's 42-10 right now. See James Clement and Sparkman battling it out. 31-21 James Clemens right now. They jumped out to the quick 14-0 lead. So good job by the Senators hanging around. See Central Phoenix City really taking command now. They're up 44-21 right now. Over Carver of Montgomery.
Harrison Colburn takes the snap, hands it off to Caden May again. And Caden is tackled at the 36-yard line. There's another helmet coming off, but no flag.
Yeah, there's a flag this time.
There is a flag.
Yeah, right there on the.
Hallelujah.
Yeah, I know. It only took 2 helmets being ripped off. Where's Coach Mitchell?
I think they decided that anything close, they're going to call the next one.
Well, they better.
After that lashing they took deservedly.
I know our
Coach
coaching staff sitting there going, hey, we appreciate it. You know, too bad it happened 59 minutes into the game.
Yeah, as we are down to 1 minute remaining. Ball at the 22-yard line. It'd be nice for this group to punch it in and give us a few more points.
I agree, especially this second unit right now, giving them some confidence. Brent, I'm going to guess this, as long as we snap this with under 40 seconds, this will likely be the last play of the ball game.
Come on, let's put it in the end zone right here, guys. Here's the snap. It's just going to be a handoff up the middle, not going very far.
Number 31?
Yes, 31, KJ Jones, the sophomore, getting the carry. And that will be the last play of the game. Your final score, Thompson 56, Hillcrest 10. We're back with postgame right after this. This is the Hillcrest Football Broadcast Network.
my scores.
All right, we are back at Warrior Stadium. Your final score, Thompson 56, Hillcrest 10. Let's just get right to this on this post game here. I'm not even going to look at the Mission Express car wash stat line.
No, but thank you to Chase. Thanks to Chase Smith. We certainly appreciate them. We appreciate all our sponsors.
I wish I could wash away these stats here tonight.
That was a good one. I appreciate that. I like that more than the more than some of the others tonight, though. But you've done a great job tonight.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Especially the Brad impression, right?
That was the cherry on top of a not great night. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So what you got with these RSV designs?
Well, like I said, I've given most of them away, so I will highlight some of them. A couple of them. Once again, Prattville Hewitt, all I got. Prattville was down, was up early, but Prattville does travel to us, though. Just kind of maybe some RSV designs, maybe scoreboard previews. We got a big couple games left for us, and then Prattville, then Oak Mountain, Hoover versus Thompson, and then at the one of the games at the very end of the year that could affect Hillcrest is the last week of region play. Week 9 is going to be Hoover versus Vestavia, though. So certainly a lot to play for. Thank you to Robin Spence Vanderford for those, and we'll be sure to be getting back after it next Friday night.
And now here's our challenge to name the Walk-Ons and Award Company of America Players of the Game. There just wasn't a whole lot of positivity out there tonight, but we've decided, we talked during the commercial break, we've decided that on offense, Jordan Shamley fought hard. He led the team on a couple of good drives, couple of good scoring drives, and he actually scored on the quarterback sneak. So Jordan Shamley is our offensive player of the game. And also at one point he completed 8 consecutive passes.
Yeah, he did. After first incompletion in the first half, 8 in a row. So good job coming back there. And second half certainly was not great, but acquitted himself well in the first half, though.
All right, and on defense, we decided that we called Marvin Johnson's name.
Sure we did.
A few times, and Marvin has had a good season, so he's deserving, and we're going to give the defensive player of the game to Marvin Johnson.
Good.
And on special teams, Caden Smith actually had some really nice returns, bowled over that one guy.
Kind of sought him out and certainly lowered the shoulder right there. So,
probably the most productive thing offensively tonight was those returns.
The first half we moved it some, but we had 2 good drives, Brent. But you're right, just didn't go our way pretty much from start to finish. But I'll say this, as Coach Freeman sitting out there, kind of preaching to his little boys, a little bit on homecoming. But either way, good win for the Thompson Warriors, and we'll try it again next week, though, like I said.
Yep. Hey, but like you said, all is not lost. We really didn't come in here expecting to win this game.
I know, Brent. I know, but I know.
Wanted it to be a little bit more of a battle than it was. That's the disappointing part, but everything is still out there in front of us. The playoffs, if we win these next 2 games, we're in the playoffs. And when you're in the playoffs, you have a chance to win the whole thing. You could bounce back from this.
Absolutely. All you got to do is get in the dance, and I think that would be a big step up. Certainly nothing guaranteed, but if we can get those 2 wins, I like our chances. And, making the playoffs in our second year in 7A would certainly be a big accomplishment. And like you said, once you make the playoffs, you never know what happens. Buddy.
That's right. It's football. You do never know. All right, that's going to wrap it up for us tonight. 56-10 is your final. The Pats falling to the Warriors. We're back next Friday night at Roy Johnson Stadium. It's HOCO 2025.
HOCO. Yay.
So we'll see you there. Until then, good night and go Pats.
Go Pats.